Yo, what's up, cugines? What's going on? So check this out, man. This is what's been going on with me lately. So we got a new t-shirt drop coming up. It's my graffiti work. I finally put out some more of my art. So I'm really excited for that. That should be out in about a week or so. We're dropping in stores late November, not late October. I messed up a couple episodes ago, so forgive me. We be smoking over here, good pizza. So the main grand openings so far are gonna be a Zen Wellness and Main Stage. Date to be determined, and there's more coming. The New Jersey, New York City pizza tour is going down end of October. If you want to tap in with good pizza, lock in with me now. Let's meet up, let's smoke, let's vibe. And then Good Pizza Media has really been cracking off, and to the point where we want to help other brands create content and media for their brands, because we all know media is king these days. So if you're trying to bring your brand to life and get some media cracking, tap in with me and my cugines. We got you covered. We'll see y'all next time. Welcome back to the Good Pizza Podcast. It's your boy JPZ, your favorite cannabis cugine. Welcoming you back here to break some bread with us, smoke some good tree with us, and talk good pizza. I love this show because we get to really highlight the plant, see where it took us in our journeys of life, and see how intertwined our paths together, and see where we're headed. Today we have a very special guest, two special guests. To the left of me are a dynamic duo of curators dedicated to the highest level of excellence, with a combined 46 years of smoking experience between the two of them. They've been curating since the 90s, folks, and they've been rocking in the branded cannabis space with some of the biggest brands out from day one. They've been focused on creating a shelf above the top shelf and seeking out some of the dopest batches of cannabis California has to offer. They're setting the highest standards for everything they do, and the word proper represents a community of people who live by just that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you my cugines, Adam and Paul from Proper Doinks.
Proper Doinks.
Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having us in.
Oh, hey, man. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You deserve your flowers. You deserve your flowers. So, yeah, boys, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming through. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, before we get into the connoisseur, the weed, the levels above the levels of the smoking experience, we got to get into the story behind the story.
And first, their name been ringing around the city for a while now.
Oh, yeah.
So I just wanted to let them know that the Proper Doinks we've been hearing heavy for the last couple of minutes. So even though I haven't known y'all directly, I've been knowing y'all for a minute. And so it's cool to meet you guys because the rise has been pretty dope to watch.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
trip, man, for real.
No, it's dope, bro.
You'll hear like how random it started to like people saying shit like that. I'm like, damn.
It's great. It means you're on the right path.
Interesting.
For sure. So I guess Paulie, we'll have you start us off, man. What's the deal, bro? Tell us about the come up, man. Like, where'd you grow up, man?
Grew up in a little town called Dixon. It's about 20 minutes from here, right in between the Bay Area and Sacramento. Born and raised
Dixon.
in that little farm town. And,
Cool.
Parents moved there from the Bay Area in 81.
Okay.
I was born in 83 a couple of years later.
Good year.
Yeah. Great year.
That shit
year.
is dead center.
Right.
Sack in the bag.
And
Like,
then, man, just grew up out there, and parents were some old school hippies from the Fillmore in the 60s and 70s era.
Let's talk about it.
So
What were they like, dude?
My parents are dope, bro, to be honest with you. Shout out to moms and pops.
Shout out.
Yeah, like, shit. Started smoking with my dad probably when I was like 12.
for the
My
land.
mom didn't start smoking with me. She was a little more against it. She didn't start until probably like, I think 16 years old was the first time I smoked with my mom. But no,
nice.
big cannabis lovers to this day.
Beautiful.
Have been my whole life. That's a smell that I can just remember my entire life.
It's a love smell, like
Yeah.
from your parents.
It's always
right?
been in the house. It's
Yeah.
always been around. Camping trips, you're on the tube and you can smell it coming from the boat while you're tubing. You don't know quite what it is, but you can smell it, So yeah, man, grew up out there and
That's tight, bro.
yeah.
That's
You actually
tight.
started smoking when you were 8, though, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
When's the first time you smoked?
Oh, I was 8. Yeah, I was 8 years old.
How did that happen?
Jesus
Time out.
Christ.
I thought I was young at 11. God damn.
So I have an older brother, my older brother, Matt.
Shout out to Matt. I like
Yeah,
this
shout
guy.
out to my brother. Yeah, me and him are the only two in the family.
Okay.
And he was a little hooligan from the gate, hanging out with all the older kids on the
Yeah.
block and stuff. And back then it was just stress weed. That was all
Yeah.
that was around was
Yeah.
was Bammer. It was brick weed. Seeds and stems and all that shit. And moms and dad had the plug. they had been in the game so long that they were already getting green buds.
Ooh,
and so like we found that, or my brother found that out, and would take their weed, would go in and take little bits of their weed and fucking go out with the homies and impress the homies and smoke some fire with them. And one day when I was 8, him and his buddy Johnny were in the house, and I heard him doing something, and I walked back of my parents' room to see what was going on. And sure as shit, if they don't have a bag in their hand that they're pulling nugs out, and I see them and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And they like pull each other to the side, and they're like,
Is it
"Fuck
time?
it, we're taking Paul with us, because if we take him with us, he can't snitch, right? If he's a part of it, right? If he's
They
a part
did
of
you
this,
dirty,
yeah, if he's a
bro.
part of this, then he can't. He's not gonna go tell mom and dad, you know." And so they took me to this little cutty spot, packed up the bong. This is pre-California.
Damn, you did a bong rip your first go?
Yeah, and this is and it even gets worse than that, because this is pre-California carb. This is metal bowls with the little hole in the back of the bong.
Oh,
You just plug
yeah.
it with your thumb.
Oh yeah.
And I remember my brother filling it up with smoke for me, and then passing it passing it to me to Carl Milky, just milky yellow,
Oh, let's go.
and passing it to me. But then he did one even worse. When I went to hit it, he put his mouth over the bowl and blew, so
he
it blows,
fucking
so it
did.
shotguns the smoke up.
Hey, gravity.
Coughed for like 15 minutes.
Getting stacked and smoke
Yeah.
with breath behind it.
I was high as fuck.
Yeah.
And then, man, after that, I smoked a little bit here and there on and off. But around 12 is when I started smoking on a daily basis and started like
Yeah.
serving tree in junior
Well,
high
same
and
here,
stuff
bro.
like
One
that.
of the-
Yeah.
One of the few who actually got high on his first time.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh, yeah. No, high was an understatement
your
to what
little
I was.
baby body, bro. Your baby system.
Yeah.
Your cannabinoid system wasn't even fully
Had
developed.
no idea what it was in for. No idea.
And shout out to Green Bud. Because
out.
niggas don't know how popular that term was in
Bro.
the 90s, early
Yeah.
90s. It was
Yeah.
just green. Before the names, it was like you got
Yep.
some Green Bud.
You know what we called it? California kind bud.
Yeah.
That's all we knew. It was like, we knew it was from California, and you saw it like once a year when you were 12. Like one of the homies sneaking in.
Like terminology wise, I remember it went from, Bammer is what they call it, everything
Right.
at first. And then it
Facts.
went to Green Bud. Then it went to Chronic after,
Yep.
after Dr. Dre dropped the Chronic album. You started hearing the
Yeah.
words, the Chronic. And then you started hearing people calling it Hydro, which 9 times out of 10, it probably wasn't even Hydro,
No,
but that's what
man.
they're calling it. So yeah. And then you started getting into strain names later on and stuff like that, seeing things like
Yeah.
Big Bud and Trainwreck and, Alaskan Thunderfuck and White
Yeah.
Widow and all that
Had a
old school
squad on
shit.
Thunderfuck for a minute.
You
You know what's funny? We used to call it dro. Anything that was good weed was just dro.
Drug,
We
yeah.
didn't know if it was hydroponic. We didn't know fucking idea how weed was growing.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I'm
same
saying?
thing
Like
as
that.
me back then, dude. No
It
idea.
was just dro.
I bugged out when I went to New York, and the first time I heard the word Reggie.
Reggie.
Right?
Yeah, talking
Reggie
about
Miller.
regular weed.
Yeah, Reggie-
it was
Reggie Miller,
regular
Dirty
weed.
Diana.
They called it Reggie.
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah.
Stressed.
Oh, that's
Stress,
funny.
yeah, stress. So what was like the high school experience like? Like you went to high school out there? Like how was that? Were you into sports or anything? Like,
I
what your
was.
get
So
down?
I did grow up doing boxing, karate,
Oh,
Muay Thai,
nice,
stuff
man.
like that my whole life.
Hell yeah.
Wish I would have got into wrestling, but never did because I was always a big basketball player, and those 2 seasons coincide. So
Gotcha.
wrestling seasons and basketball season are at the same time, and
Okay.
I always hooped up until the end of the end of 8th grade. Because when I went into high school that year, 97, 98 into high school,
Yeah.
that was the year that they implemented drug testing for sports. And I was like, you got me fucked up if you think I'm going to quit smoking weed to go fucking run a ball up and down a court a couple of times.
The
Like,
promise pledge.
yeah, I'm good. I can still do all my martial arts and shit. I just couldn't play
That's right.
sports for the school.
Sure.
So starting freshman year, I was done with that.
That's right.
But yeah, high school was
Here.
high
Yeah,
school
we
was
have a similar path.
right.
Damn.
High school was pretty dope though, man. Coming from that small town, and my family being predominantly from the Bay Area, not a lot of people had plug on weed. There was
Okay.
a lot of stress weed. And I just so happened to be like brothers with the homie in Dixon, who probably still to this day runs the tree scene out there.
Oh no shit. Dixon.
Yeah, the homie, shout out Jimbo.
Jimbo. Shout out.
But yeah, so, back in those days, everybody was getting, a half gram for 10 or a gram for 20. There was no
Yeah. that
higher
sounds right.
deals or anything. That's
Yeah.
about all you were getting. And
What years was this?
97,
Okay,
90,
yeah.
probably
Same.
97,
Same,
yeah. You could get it like that. But the homie Jimmy would shoot me this deal that was called the 2 for 30. Where I could get
those.
2 grams for 30. And so I used to
Fucking
hustle at school. I used to tell everybody, yo, like if anybody wants a half gram or a gram, give me your money and I'll go cop it. So I'd stack up all the money and go get it and get my free weed from it, and then started eventually buying weed off of him and just serving it at the school. And
There you go.
yeah, that was pretty much it, man.
Yeah.
High school was fun.
Facts. Now, were you guys in the dictionary as a whole? Were you guys copping in the Bay or Sac?
There was a lot of copping going in Sacramento, and a lot of it was still actually up on the hill, believe it or not. So Jimbo, I know, was tapped in with a lot of people up in the Humboldt area, Fort Bragg, like up in that area.
And I'm just wondering, because both are kind of big markets, like
Huge
the Bay
markets.
Area being a
Yeah.
big market,
Fuck
Sac
yeah.
being a hub for Humboldt
markets.
and all that shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was wondering where you guys might have been like grabbing from.
Yeah, I think the weed that came from him predominantly came from the Sacramento and Emerald Triangle area.
Okay.
I know he had a couple of boys that were in the Bay that we fucked with. But yeah, for the most part, Sacramento is pretty. I mean, shit, city of trees, right?
City of
It's always for me. It's always been
Coolest
kind of that
fucking name ever.
mecca, right? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. What was your first job, bro?
My very first job,
It's always
bro.
a funny one sometimes.
Pushing carts at Safeway
Okay.
in Davis off of Covell Boulevard.
I know what that is.
Was my first actual real job that I did. I fucking hated it, dude. I hated it,
Who the
man.
fuck like their first
the
job?
the dead of summer, you know, or even in winter, you know, it's pouring rain, and all I'm doing is grabbing these fucking carts from the parking lot and bringing them back to their little cart stable. And yeah, man, I hated that fucking job.
He knew early.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this shit.
Yo,
Yeah.
you ever see that fucking guy on YouTube?
Cart narcs?
Yes, Carnox, bro.
My guy, yeah. I watched that
Carnox should get his head knocked off one day, bro. He's phenomenal, though. I
That
love
boy
this
gets
guy.
me weak. He said, "You're just a lazy bones."
You know what I'm saying? For all that don't know who Carnox is, he G-checks anybody in the parking lot who doesn't return the cart to the cart
Yeah.
return spot. And it's fucking hilarious.
And there's a TV show?
It's like, dude, he's like on Instagram
Yeah,
and
he
shit,
just
YouTube,
films
you
it.
know what I'm saying? He's fucking wild, bro. And nobody's safe. Listen, nobody's safe. He will run the fuck down on you.
That's facts.
Yeah. So, how did you actually enter in the cannabis space? Like, how did you know?
So
I mean, you've been smoking since you're 8. I mean,
yeah, I've been
let's be
smoking
real.
for a long time. It's always been a passion of mine, and obviously, you know, loved, you know, moving tree through the high school and college years and shit like that, and just
Yeah.
pushing packs, which eventually got to meeting out of towners and moving boxes and things like that. You
Oh,
know, and
yeah.
obviously that's
All the
you know
fun stuff.
fun and it's lucrative, you know. But I always, you know, it's weird coming from a family that is so involved in weed from my parents. It was such a faux pas in the 80s and the 90s still, right? You know, there was no Prop 215. There was no
Sure.
Prop 64. It was just fucking illegal.
Yeah.
And so my parents, even though they knew I smoked, they always tried to steer me away from it. They knew I was involved with, you know, helping buddies with grows and things like that. And
Sure.
but they always were just like, you know, on that traditional American stance, you know, go to school, get a job, you know, this is what you do, you know, you build your
Buy a
401k.
house.
One day you can retire, you know, and you know, and that's it. And I don't know why, man. I tried for the longest period of time. I tried, you know, different, you know, careers and different things, but
Sure.
I just think I always knew that like this is what my passion was, and like I wasn't going to be happy doing anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, dude, I think in 2013 is when Indoloro was kind of founded, which is a distribution company that was ran out of Adelanto, which is in Southern California.
Okay.
Me and a buddy Blake were working with a company called Gold Drop at the time.
I know Gold Drop.
Yeah, we were doing work.
We'll drive right now.
Yeah, we were doing work with them.
That'll be even funnier later.
And Deloro was doing the distribution for them. I don't know exactly what happened. I didn't get into the relationship and what happened, but
Sure.
there was a falling out somehow. And during the falling out, the owners of the Indoloro hit me and Blake up and were like, yo, like, we come from the distribution side. We own electronics distributions, you know, plastic distributions, you know, but they had no idea about cannabis. This was all new to them, running this cannabis distribution. And so they were like, we'd like for you guys to run our Northern California division, you know, and bring on new brands and figure things out. And so we got on, and when we got on, I think we were carrying Gold Drop, like maybe like one other person when we got on. But we made the connections with Larry and Caleb over at Connected and got them on the books. Mario with Stravinsky. You got Mario on the books. We had Quan and Wu with Garrison Lane Company with the Billy Kimber and the 40 Elephants and all that. Helped to bring Friendly Family Farms to market as well.
Friendly Farms, the carts?
Yeah, shout out Darren and Chaz.
Darren and
Shit.
Chaz, yeah.
Back then though, they weren't even on carts yet.
They were doing sauce only, concentrate only.
Yeah.
So this is like 2016, 17 sounds like.
Yeah. So we were moving their carts or their sauce. And I remember the day that the cart came into question. I was meeting Chaz in the parking lot of Stones, the little casino here.
I know. I've done a couple meetups there.
Meeting him at the parking lot in Stones to give him some money. And it was the first time I had met Chaz, actually, because I'd been dealing with Darren prior to that.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, you're going to meet Chaz. Chaz is, the man and that makes everything, and you're going to meet him cool people. I'm like, cool. So I pull up, I meet him, counting this bread for him, and he's like, yo, hit this. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I don't smoke distillate.
Yeah.
I'm very picky about what I smoke.
Sure.
And so I was like, nah, I'm good, bro. I appreciate you, though. No, hit this. I'm like, nah, bro, I don't smoke distillate. Like, I appreciate it. I'm sure it's some fire, but I don't smoke distillate. He's like, not distillate. I mean, it's not distillate. It's live resin, 100% live resin. And I'm like, what? He's like, we finally did it. We cracked the code. We've been working on this. I'm like, all right. So I take it and I hit it. Fucking amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It was like taking a dab out of a pen.
Yeah.
And it was a weird, like the way it hit me and everything.
Yeah,
it
bro.
was weird. And I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, you guys are going to revolutionize the game with this shit.
Oh, yeah, they
And
fucking did.
yeah, and then as soon as they got on, we were selling their carts. And this was before they had done any collabs. We were just moving, they were single sourced, I think, or had other farms that they worked with where they got their product from. But obviously now they're on the menu with Connected and Stravinsky and shit like that. So we ended up helping, make some introductions and things like that, the way some things could happen, and they could do some dope collabs and shit like that.
Hell yeah. That's tight. Wow. Well, let's bring it back to Adam. I want to hear Adam's story because I feel like right about now is kind of where your paths intertwine. So we're gonna pause the timeline, and we're gonna bring it back to my man Adam. So Adam Payne, tell me about the come up, brother. Where'd you grow up, my friend?
It's not as dope of a story.
No, come on. Everybody's got a story.
Shouldn't have put me next, bro. But no, I grew up just like hella focused on fighting.
Okay,
So, like,
that's
4
an
years.
awesome story, bro.
Yeah, no, it's cool, but it's not as cool for the weekend. But just like 4 years old, started Taekwondo.
No
and,
shit, man.
Got hella bored of that. So 11, went to just like straight MMA training.
Okay.
And just loved that shit. Ended up wrestling
Throughout high school.
just to kind of help with MMA.
Sure.
Everybody at my gym was like, you got to wrestle if you want to be fucking anything. in
Right.
MMA. So
Is that you have to do that?
you don't have to. You
But
could
it
just
would
be a stand-up
behoove you
fighter.
to do that.
Yeah,
No,
they
if you're
can
doing
take it
MMA,
down.
if you're doing jujitsu and stuff like that, you should know wrestling.
If you're not a wrestler, then you're just gonna go fight until
And
you get taken down by a
till you
wrestler.
get taken
Yeah.
down.
So,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna learn to wrestle when it's too late.
Yeah,
But-
there you go.
At some point, you're
I
gonna learn to
think
wrestle.
something to notice about him is he comes up in the first generation of I want to be an MMA fighter at 5 years old.
Yeah,
Because before it was I did Taekwondo or Muay Thai my whole life, and now I'm going to do MMA and start
Sure.
learning everything else. So I've been a wrestler all of my life, and mostly wrestling is like the best skill to have one skill because you can kind of decide how we fight. I can take you down
Yeah.
or we stand up.
Yeah.
But he's one of the first generation of I want to be an MMA guy as a
right.
kid. Which is really dope, and I'm
Shout out
intrigued
Pops,
by that
dude.
story. Like,
Shout out Pops for brainwashing me.
Mm.
He'd always put on like UFC and shit, and I'd be
Facts.
so hyped, and I'd ask if I could do it. He'd be like, maybe if you're a good kid, use it as a reward, kind of. So like most people like force their kids into training, and then they get sick of it. And whereas like
First psychology, your ass.
he made it seem like a privilege, so I wanted to hella bad. So my whole childhood, I just wanted to. If I wasn't at practice, I was on the trampoline, fucking slamming my homies.
No shit.
Like just fucking suplexing them and shit. Just before I even knew wrestling. So when I got to wrestling, like I was jits. So like first day, I like, I get a takedown. I go to my back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, this is weird.
this ain't how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, so I'm like-
you're not supposed to be on your back.
I feel in control. Like I'm uncomfortable, but I'm getting pinned. So, but yeah. Anyways, wrestling got out of hand. It got me. Went to college at Cal Poly for wrestling.
Nice, dude.
Technically got in on grades first.
Okay.
High as GPA, I was cheating on everything.
I'm about to say, you go smart ass. Huh?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
no,
you
no.
cheating.
Street smart, you know what I mean? But not like, no, I was, dude, so the whole wrestling team, they had all the tests from the year before.
Oh, let's go.
So I got to, like, they all hooked me up. So I had every homework assignment, every test, everything. I was
Oh,
sitting
you
in the
were
front, too, to make it
chilling,
seem like I wasn't suspicious.
Oh, you. Look at you.
Teacher's pet. I'd have to hit office hours here and there. So anyways, went to fucking college, same shit. Got a degree in entrepreneurship, cheated on every class but the entrepreneurship classes.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, man.
and
You
yeah,
just
got
gotta
the
get through.
degree. Never used it. I don't know where it is even right now, but I got it.
When did I mean, you're using the skills, I'm sure, as an
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Well,
but not
I'm using the
actually
relationships.
paper. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not about, like, they say it's not the test you take, it's the hands you shake.
Oh, that's a good.
And in
Yeah.
college, honestly, I will
Network,
say
bro.
college is the reason I was able to do anything business-wise in my life.
Nice.
I met, shout out Tino, met this dude Tino who's like, you know, when you meet somebody that's just like Einstein level smart, they're
Yeah.
like, they'll pick up a Calc 2 book. They never took the class. Like, I was in Calc 2 and I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know how to do this shit. It's hard to cheat on calculus in college, dude. And then he just picks it up a year behind me, picks it up and teaches it to me like he's a fucking teacher just by reading it and shit. Like, I won't even get into it.
And he
but
breaks
he's
it down in
he's
layman's
freak.
terms for you.
Like,
Yeah.
we needed something for the website. And he's like, fuck it. 4 hours later, calls me back. Yo, I learned how to code.
What?
Damn, bro, I feel hella stupid around here.
You got a
But-
Rain Man partner. over
Yeah,
there.
so it's like a perfect duo. Everything I suck at, he's amazing at. Anything he's lacking, I got. And so he's been my business
That's
partner
great.
for everything I've ever started.
That's great.
Which is
Love
kind of
that.
what got me in the game is we're starting businesses.
Sure.
And we need, obviously, funding.
Yeah,
And so
they
the way
do.
my dad raised me is like it all started where he fucking I used to drag my toes when I was like 10,
Okay.
11, and I would put holes in my shoes.
Yeah.
And so I fucked up my shoes and I was like, can I get some new shoes? He's like, yeah, sure. So we go to the store and I'm like obsessed with Jordans at this point. I'm on a kick.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I get these Jordans? He's like, yeah. So we go up to the register. He's like, did you bring your money? And I was like, and I'm 11, you know, and I'm like, no, like I don't have no damn money.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, well, you think I was gonna buy your shoes that you messed up? And I was like embarrassed as fuck in front of the cashier.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like a pretty chick, the cashier, so I'm all embarrassed.
Just melting.
So we go home and he teaches me Craigslist. He's like, check out this bike. If you can flip this bike, if you can double your money, then we'll go ride go-karts or we'll go do this. You know what I mean? Like he pushed me in school, but he really pushed me to like learn how to
shit.
It's a
flip
hustle.
We're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah, and he's like-
live off the land.
shit. Yeah, he's like, yo, if
Yeah.
you go get this job, then you can work X amount, but you'll never make more than this. Whereas you could flip however much shit you want. You know what I mean? So I started getting
God.
obsessed with Craigslist. I'm flipping shit.
He
Get
planted
shit.
that seed at what age?
11.
Oh,
So I never knew. So I never had like a job except for one that he punished me with because I was getting lazy on my flipping. He's like, all right, well, you got to go get a job then. You're going to be a dishwasher.
ooh,
and,
that's a rough one, dude.
Showed up
I've
to work
done that.
2 times and fucking out.
See you
Not
later,
a chance,
alligator.
dude.
Let me get on this goddamn internet.
Yeah, let me
Stop
go.
playing. Get back
Get on
on
this
this motherfucking
computer.
Craigslist shit.
So just from there, like I got to college and like I'd been smoking since I was 13, just turned 14. It was like it was like 10 days before my birthday.
It's a good age.
Yeah, it was solid.
Respectable.
Smoked out of a zong.
A zong.
Yeah, for the first time.
What is a zong?
It's like the Z bong, you know? It's like the fucking bong that has the Z.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a cool like
And
shape.
an apple.
Oh,
An apple.
yeah.
Apple. Yeah, we're way up on the
Same
hill.
sesh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys really got after it.
Oh, I was
Big one. 2 sessions on the
I
first
fell
one. I
off
like
the
it.
tree.
And
Actually.
Zong was the
Fell off
glass,
the tree,
right?
dude.
Yeah. It was,
Zong was the glass,
The glass
right?
bong,
Yeah,
yeah.
they were like a good brand back
Oh, that's
then.
fire.
They
bro.
was
I
one of
never
the
seen or
dope
heard
people.
that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's because this homie Ryan, I forgot his last
That
name.
name. Hell of a long.
Yeah, he came through. He had it in his backpack. We're all hiding under a tree, like in a tree, under a tree, kicking it in the tree
Love
that's
it.
like growing sideways, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sitting on it. I got hella high. I fell off, laying square on my back. and
What?
shit. So it was a good first fucking.
That was a
remember-
really good first
great
smoke,
one, yeah.
dude.
And all we had to eat was Ritz crackers. So I was just,
Empty
water.
stomach. Oh, God,
dude.
and I could not stop, dude. I ate like a whole sleeve of Ritz crackers.
Bro, you remember how dry? Like, remember the early days dry mouth? It was way worse. When
Bro,
like, I feel like you were an amateur.
No,
Hey, it's
it
still
was
pretty
work.
bad.
He was
bro.
the bammer. I don't
It's still
know.
pretty bad.
And off a
probably
sleeve
what it
of
was, to
Ritz.
be honest with you.
And then Ritz, they trying to
Yeah.
choke yourself out.
Well, I didn't know, bro. They're all fucking with me and
Of course.
shit, you know. And Matt is the homie that helped me. Shout out Matt, dude. Got me my first little $20 fucking gram. Of
20
trash,
sack.
dude. Probably
Yeah.
half the gram was
Shout
spent.
out to Matt.
20 sack. I got 5 on it.
He didn't sell it to me. He just helped me get it. You know what I mean? But anyways,
Nice.
so I smoked all through fucking wrestling and everything else, and I had bad cardio and shit. I wasn't no Nate Diaz. And,
right.
And basically got to college and we're starting businesses. We ended up getting like a fucking contract with Cal Poly to do their transportation and shit because I was in the entrepreneurship program.
Nice.
So we had hella shit going. Started like a stock trading thing online.
Wow.
Like a little university. Everything failed.
Right.
Well, while we were starting the transportation, 8-seater golf carts, intuition, students get to hop around and just like get on because it's a hilly campus and it's hot out there. And so anyways, we're waiting. We got the contract in. We're waiting 4 months for that. Hold on. And
while rolling a proper doink.
And then basically we get bored, and so we start getting into the Twitter game. So we end up getting like you can buy accounts that have millions of followers, organic accounts, not like buying followers, but
Right.
Sure.
buying the username and password. So we get into that shit, and this is Tino's nerding out, fucking looking at shit. So we end up having like 5 million followers on Twitter, and we're doing these fucking campaigns for people selling out all their products, and we're like bored waiting for a swoop is what we called it to go through, and then we end up. I used to sell hammocks in school. I used to buy them from Ross for $10 and sell them for like 20, 30. You know what I mean? Like just whatever the fuck I could get, right?
Yeah.
And if I could double it, I was down. That was my shit.
Yeah. Let's go.
And so,
Same since 11.
Since 11, real talk, bro.
so I'm in college hanging hammocks on the campus and shit with extra hammocks right next to me and assigning hammocks for sale.
Yeah.
And it's
Let's
working because
go,
people are
bro.
like, what the fuck, dude? I'll read, whatever.
I'll take a hammock.
Right.
And these are the pop-up joints, right? You don't need a tree to stick them to?
No, you need a tree.
Need a tree.
But they're
There's a lot
very
of trees?
portable. Yeah, there's a lot of trees.
Okay.
It's just very portable because you could take it I would go to the beach and hang them up on the pier and sell them at the pier, wherever. You know what I mean? But anyways, we're sitting there and I'm like, yo, let's start a hammock company because I fuck with hammocks and we can sell anything with 5 million followers. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we started selling these hammocks, and within 4 months, dude, we got like dozens of thousands of followers on Twitter on our page. We're selling to fucking 28 countries. Shit's booming. And we're like, fuck swoop, dude. That was like a $1 million a year thing. You know what I mean? Contract that can never get bigger. And this, like, we're talking at Dick's Sporting Goods and shit. So we're young. We don't realize what comes with a purchase order and how crazy that really is.
Yeah.
How risky it is. You know what I mean? So we drop it. We're going with it. And then, boom, patent infringement from the biggest hammock company. We're like the third biggest hammock company at this point. And then we're like, all right, close up shop. Boom. But throughout the whole process of all this, I was just trapping.
Yeah.
Started out with just like, I would get these blue dreams. Shout out Ryan. They were some dope ass blue dreams.
Yeah.
And I was just
They were
buying
dope
it for
when they
12. Buying it for like 8, I think. Moving it for like 12 to the frats. And then just breaking it down. $20 eighths, $25.60 once I got done. Again, if I could double it, I'm down. So I fucking
Double it up, baby.
And then it just started escalating. I found weed maps. I started hitting up, deliveries and all this shit, and just started escalating it like anybody else.
There you go.
Found some big farms, found some big players, started moving some boxes, and started getting excited.
That's right.
And then right as we fucking get to the point where, like, shit's really moving, one of my boys that I was slanging to got caught up. And I was hella nervous. I was like, I'm out. And luckily he, like, flushed his phone and shit, so we're all good.
Oh, he kept his mouth shut.
But like, I was just like, I'm out. So we moved to the Bay. My girl moves in with me in Slow for a second, Jasmine.
Okay.
And so then we move to the Bay, and I'm like, oh man, all right, I gotta do this right. Like, no more trapping,
What year is this? What year?
2015.
Okay.
I think.
Cool.
Yeah, like end of 2015 or some shit.
Nice.
No, 2016, summer 2016. So we get there, and then finally, I'm about to go get like a job at like Texas Roadhouse, just because we're living in the Bay. It's expensive. I'm like, all right, I can get some tips or something.
Sure.
What the fuck?
Right.
And then I call my boy Austin, and I'm like, yo, dude, talk me out of this right now. I got this interview. Talk me out of this. And he's like, bro, I got 10 packs right now. I'll front you. You could do something with it. I'm like, that's all I need to do.
Say
That's
And
Dude, I'm on the
start
way.
hitting overnight trips back to Slow, and then start hitting up everybody in town. But I realized everybody in town in the Bay, I'm living in an Airbnb in Hayward at that point. And I realized everyone in the Bay is all about the indoors. Nobody wants outdoors out there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. And so I started going to pop-ups and shit. And then eventually just like become like the candy man. Like I have like not hella depth of one strain that's fire. I just wanted more options than anyone.
Sure.
So I'd have like 20, 30 different strains, 1 to 3 packs each.
Yeah.
And I started to notice I have a palette. I'm like, oh shit, because Jasmine's like, you couldn't tell me what these are blindfolded. So she blindfolded me, had like all 30-something packs out, and I literally told her every fucking one.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, I got
One of
it.
every.
Something's
Nice.
going on. And so I think I'm hot shit at this point. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know what good smoke is or nothing like that.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
think I'm hot shit, and I'm just slanging shit. And then fast forward, everything goes wreck. And 2018, I started with this fucking dog ass company, Urban Industries. And long story short, I'm crushing, but then they get me to fucking sell like moldy seeded weed and shit. And I'm like, nope. And I told the whole sales team, like, if you want to place in this industry past the next 2-week commission you're gonna get, like, don't sell this shit, because like you'll never be able to sell anything again.
Right. You'll burn a lot of people.
Yeah, and then they're like, nah, you have to sell it anyway. So, anyways, that falls out, and then I get with Connected. I start my own company, Karma. Just a rec brand. I knew all the people, and I needed something to sell.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, white label, let's go.
Yeah.
And then my our CFO was running the finance department for Connected, Jake, and so he gets my girl into the finance department. So she's working finance, figures out there's a spot open for sales. She's like, yo, give me a chance. They give her a chance. Her interview obviously involves me. Like, the way we came up is like, we go somewhere. She's in the back seat with the duffel bag. Homeboy's in the front. I'm like, give me this. She undoes.
Oh, yeah.
Passes
Yep.
to me. Goes
You
into
do the show.
rotation.
Yep.
He
And she
passes it
ties him
to
back
them.
up. Boom, boom, boom. Yep.
Exactly. So like,
Good
she's seen
system.
a lot.
Yeah.
And then basically we end up both starting at Connected right when he was transferring out of Connected, once it was going full rec.
Okay.
So we end up talking online.
Yeah. So this is where you guys meet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
So
hear it.
Yeah.
he sees like Connected to my bio, and then we start chopping. He tells me the story, and then basically, I'm like, let's link, let's smoke, and he's like, where you live? I'm like, Fairfield. He's like, shut the fuck up, same.
It was a pack of Gelinade.
Oh, they met over some
Yeah,
Gelinade.
It was a
Gelinade.
pack of Gelinade. He posted a pack of Gelinade.
Smalls, if I remember.
Yeah, and he said it was a cool ticket, and I tapped in because I had somebody that I could move it to at the time, and I was like, I don't know if you remember me, but we met at the Connected meeting together. I was with Indoloro. You're with the internal team. He's like, yeah. And then go ahead. So I just wanted to clarify that it was a pack of Gelinade.
We're just like, yo, let's go
Shout out
fucking,
to Johnny.
let's link up. And I'm like, we're in Fairfield. He's like, this neighborhood. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. And then we figure out we're like 12 doors down.
Damn, bro. Same neighborhood.
Not
Do we just
even-
become best friends?
Right?
So basically, he comes over. This is when I think RS11 had just dropped.
Okay.
And he comes over with some RS. I think like the best bag of peel and nose I had at that point, which is what I was going off of, was like some ice cream cake before it was ice cream cake. And
Sure.
fucking hella weird,
Yeah, it was still cool at
It
this
was still
point.
cool.
Yeah.
And so I roll it up. He doesn't say a word, hella generous and shit. Like I would have, if I was him, I would have been like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some ice cream. So I roll it up and I hit the RS, and shout out Dio, changed my motherfucking life in Wizard. And I'm like, what in the fuck is this, dude? You know what I mean? I always thought it was cool to cough and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
just
right.
Good shit. And I hit it, and I'm like, did I hit it? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
take another hit, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm hitting it, but like, what the fuck? It's a huge hit. Tastes
Yeah.
so good, dude. There's
Enjoyable.
no like smoky taste. It's just smooth as fuck, and I'm getting high.
Yeah.
So I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And he's like, that's some RS, dude. And tells me the story. And then that fucked me up for life, dude.
It started there.
Well, hold on.
Life.
Dude,
That's
we're not-
where it began.
super
Because I had a
exotic.
palate. I had a
Yeah.
really good palate naturally.
What did you smoke out? Like a proper doink?
Oh yeah, no, he
Proper
had.
doink?
This is when I first saw the fucking the rip tip.
Okay.
Yeah, I came over and rolled one,
He had
just
one
like
rip
I'm
tip.
doing right now. I came over
Yeah.
and rolled the same joint.
Nice.
And then basically, like, he gave me a couple funky field tips. And I was like, all right, this is cool. but,
Start
like,
him out with these.
what's up with that one, dog? You know what I mean? What's up with that one? Why you holding out?
Got to see if you can handle this first.
Yeah, so that basically was the most, like, monumental shift in my life, like, to date. Like, nothing would have happened if I hadn't just smoked with him and been like,
Wow.
oh, there's a difference.
Right.
Sensei came
You
through
know,
and
and it
showed
didn't
you
even
the
look
way.
that good. I saw him rolling it up, and let me see. Okay, I'm in my head like, man,
That's
I
cute.
should shitting on it.
Yeah,
and then we smoke it. He's all quiet the whole time. Doesn't say anything about
Right.
my joint. I just put it out. I'm like, I can't even hit that anymore.
Yeah.
And then I start smoking my other shit. I'm like, oh god, you know what I mean? Like, damn, everything sucks, dude.
Like,
It all sucks. And then
Yeah.
he starts bringing over new flavors. He's like, yo, I got something new. And now he created a monster because he'll bring some shit that's probably fire to most people. And I'm hitting, and I'm like, I don't know, man. That's just not what.
Yeah.
all
You
this
had,
was. You know?
you had
Yeah.
a good green bud palate.
Yeah.
You didn't have an exotic
I had a good nose. I didn't have a good palate.
Like, yeah.
Smoker's palate.
Yeah,
it's
but like,
exotic.
if I hear something, if I see something, I'm gonna forget it. Like I'm borderline retarded when it comes to shit. Like I'll forget everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I smell something when I'm 5 years old and I smell it again, like I'll remember it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm able to like smell shit and be like, all right,
Strongest part of your
here's
memory.
the genetics, like blah
Yeah.
blah, because it just comes off the hip and I don't
Oh, yeah.
even think it just like, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much how we link.
That's sick, bro. So how did Proper Doinks become about? Like, so I feel like so you guys meet.
I'll light
You
a
guys
doink for
are
this.
light a doink for that, man.
Yeah.
Light a doink for Proper Doinks.
Yup, y'all become homies. Y'all start sticking and moving.
Sounds like a good start.
Y'all both in Fairfield.
Yeah, so-
is it an immediate thing, or do y'all just become homies first?
So we become homies first, I think, before anything. You know, we start hanging out a lot, and we just start kind of. I think we both have OCD in different stances, but we both are very obsessive, compulsive, and passionate, especially when it comes to the plant.
Yeah.
And so it just became like a nightly thing where I would hunt flavors
Right.
and we would get together and we would sit down and we would analyze them. We'd just sit down and smoke them. And, you know, at the time, like you said, RS and Zope were just like so heavy in my rotation. Like I always had RS and Zope no matter what, but I'd get other flavors as well.
Right.
And so we'd use the RS and the Zope as the standard. And then we'd smoke what other flavor it was next to it just to compare and contrast. you
Looking
know?
back wasn't fair.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, we're dogging a lot of other weeds. Yeah, once again, shout out Wizard and Deal, because those fucking batches in the beginning that were coming out were just excellence
Yeah,
of
bro.
excellence. Like it, yeah, unreal
Those
weed.
first RS packs fucked me up. Bro.
Yeah, so we just started kicking it, man. I think the homie thing kind of grew organically before anything else did. And it's funny because, you know, I've been rolling these and smoking these, bro, for a long time and never calling them anything. It was just how I smoke. Like I said, I got OCD, so I'm like really intricate with how I roll and how it's stuffed and like things
Yeah.
like that, you know, and how tight my roll is. Like
I take notes whenever you.
yeah, so like I think, you know, we started smoking and I had the idea a while back and thought, you know, maybe I should start to do something in this industry. And every time I'd like talk to the, you know, the people that, you know, were so-called friends, you know, that I was hanging out with that I had known my whole life and would mention shit to, I just always got a lot of negative feedback, dude. I just always got a lot of, yeah, but nobody cares like you do. You know, you're fucking a weirdo with your weed and most people just want to get high and nobody's going to care to the level that you do. And so it always kind of just talked me out of moving forward
Sure.
in any way, shape, or form. And then one day we're at his house smoking and he's just like, bro, why don't you fucking have a business? And I was just like,
Right.
just never had the fucking right timing and people, you know, and, you know,
Sure.
everything around me, you know, to make it happen. And so we started talking and, you know, blessing in disguise, you know, Adam is a fucking guru when it comes to business management, running a business, anything that comes with, you know, because we're about a decade apart
Sure,
in age. So
sure.
anything that comes with the social media side of things or, you know, running the technology side or anything like that, because he's done it. You know, Adam,
Really, Tino's the guru. I'm just leeching off of what he knows.
but he's modest. You know, he also, you know, he also is the owner of Karma and founder
Sure.
of Karma. You know, so
Sure.
he's
Nothing
been in.
to sneeze at.
No, but he's been in this space. You know,
Sure.
so he understands it. You know, so I think, you know, as much as he likes to say, you know, if he never came, I would have never been here, and this would never be here. It's the same for me because I would have never taken that step.
Yeah.
I'd still be smoking these.
Right.
I'd still be smoking fire.
Exactly.
And still be impressing crowds when I go places, but that'd be it.
Exactly.
Right.
That would have been where it ended.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you needed someone, an optimistic person, when you had that idea in your head.
Yeah.
Like you're the people around you were like, nah, that ain't. It's you. You know, you think.
Yep.
Fuck
But
they.
all you need is that one motherfucker sometimes be like, yeah, bro, like fucking. And I try to be that dude in life. Like you tell me an idea, I try to help you how to get it done.
Yeah, and if
I
not,
don't
you
try
just
to
go back
shoot
and do
it
the same
down
shit.
for you. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
try to flush out to see if there's really
bro.
a way we could do this shit.
right.
Like, let's fucking go. And it's good that you found a guy like that on your team.
Hell
Because
yeah. Yeah.
there's a lot of guys that stay just rolling impressive joints
Yeah.
forever just because they never found the partner they
I think
needed.
like his
And
homies
didn't-
were like, "Yo, fucking nobody else cares, this and that." And it's like, well, I didn't care until I was taught how to care.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I realized how much it changed my life. And I'm like, I know there's other people out here that like,
Exactly.
number one, think you're hating, but number two, if they experience the difference, they'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, I thought you were just
And-
an asshole or something.
No.
And
I thought
there's
it was-
a-
The whole world.
And you realize there's a big market for weed snob.
There is.
They're-
'Cause there's
they
good
are a
weed.
large,
It's a niche
they're
market, but it's a
growing
market,
group,
bro.
but they're a
Oh,
large,
it's a growing group. There you go.
Yeah, and
they
fuck the
are a
large
group.
market.
There
I'll
are.
deal with
That
this.
is kind of who
Exactly.
pushes. Those are the people who
Exactly.
search out the flavors, and those are the people who making shit hot.
Yeah.
So everything kind of comes behind them. So
Yeah.
like. Them dudes do kind of set the trends and tell everybody else what to do. So yes, there is
Absolutely.
a
Well, that's
market.
kind of how it started, dude. Is like
That's exactly how it started.
Yeah.
we're trying to, at this point, we're sitting there, we'll roll 2 doinks, right? We never smoke to get high, ever. Like, we're literally smoking there to figure something out. So we're like, all right, you use this grinder, I'll use this grinder. You roll it skinnier, I'll roll it thicker. You roll it longer, I'll roll it normal. You know, there's something.
Let's
there's
get
the
Pressing
pressure.
all out.
So yeah, each little thing we'll do like 10 times and be like, all right, yeah, we for sure know now that this is the fucking way to do it. This is how you hold it. This is how long you wait between hits, depending on the
Yeah.
material. So like anything we could nerd out and think of on how to compare, we'll do it 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
And we just found out so much shit that like drastically changes the experience.
Mm-hmm.
But in the middle of doing all that, our fucking supply stopped being quite as fire. Like the shit that we were banking on, it just, it was just, because there's good weed and then there's great weed and then there's excellent weed. Like,
Yeah.
like some unicorn shit. Like,
Yeah.
what in the fuck is that? And the difference is disregarded by even like the connoisseurs of the industry. If it's good, it's good. Hell yeah, it's good. Fuck yeah, cool. But like the excellent shit like deserves a different spotlight, a
Yeah.
different shine. The shit that's just like, it's like, I don't want to say oxygen, but like it's just so fucking smooth on your throat and thick with flavor. It's like a syrup flavor compared to like a juice or even a watered down juice.
Right.
Yeah.
And it like medicates your throat as it goes down. And
What the fuck is this?
yeah. So this right here is some off the vine yesterday. So we hit up Jordan Blueprint. Shout out Blueprint.
Big
We're
shout
like,
out.
yo, dude,
Shot Blueprint.
we've been smoking the same weed for like 3 weeks. It's good, but it's not great or excellent.
This.
Do you have anything? He's like, bro, I could pull some shit 9 days early off the vine today if you want, and we could see if it's
We're good, Jordan.
And look, if you look at it, it's moist, right? Got pulled off the vine yesterday, right? But you see how it's starting to pitch white and the beginning is dark? So when
Yeah.
people are like, oh, my ashes
Yeah.
are only black because it's moist, it's like, well, no. If it is going to burn clean, it will burn clean. It's just got to evaporate. The heat from the cherry's got to evaporate the moisture out.
Yeah.
And then it'll be burning clean.
It is. I
The
can
flavor's
see
gonna get
fucking- I
better.
see where it changed.
One thing I want to touch on too before we get any further into this is that back to what we were talking about, like with
Oh,
the
yeah,
good
sorry.
weed. No, with the good weed experience. Like that's one of the conversations we had. Right, was like, okay, like there's different levels to this, right? And this industry, whether people want to admit it or not, is in its infancy stage still.
Fact.
And so, you got to think about other industries, and it's like, well, wine's obviously been around for thousands of years, right? But as an industry, right, probably a couple of hundred, right?
Right.
And I can guarantee you when wine first started, there wasn't a huge connoisseur community. That got built over time. And so we want to kind of be on the forefront of building that community within our community.
Yeah.
And then the last thing
And it is perfect timing because
Fuck,
like
yeah.
they're still finding terpenes. They're
Oh, yeah.
still learning
Perfecting
about
the
the
oil.
experts are still learning about the plant. Like
Yeah.
especially now just getting off like Schedule 1 classification where it
Right.
can be researched in
Yeah.
a great way by some of the biggest people now. So we're still learning a lot of
Yeah.
shit
Oh, yeah.
about the fucking plant. So yes, you're right. You're in the perfect pocket
Yeah.
to be doing this,
Hell
to
yeah.
be coming
Just to
up
have a
with
little
them
something
and
to do
to
with
kind of take that market space while it's still
Yeah.
building and be the name. Because at some point in time, it's going to be so flooded that reputation is going to be everything.
Yeah.
Like where
For sure.
like if you tried to bring out a soda right now, you're battling Pepsi and all their Coke and all of their products for shelf space at the store. You're
Yeah.
not going to get
there's
it.
There's some Pepsis and Cokes, but we're not even trying to be in that store. That's the
Right.
thing. We're trying to like represent the tiniest little smallest fraction of the connoisseur market.
Yeah.
Out of the industry. We're trying to be a little 1% of connoisseurs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm just saying that market
1%
share
to
ain't
10%.
taken yet.
Exactly. There's no
So even
real.
for all levels, that market cookies might be the only household brand with Alien Labs coming
Cookies,
smooth behind them right now.
Yeah.
But cookies may be the only household brand that we have, period.
Yeah, that everybody
so
knows no
everybody
matter
else
what.
is still, there's room to go fight for that number 2 and at some point number 1 spot. Like, and there's a lot of people that are going to be coming around for that over the next 10, 15, 20 years where the markets start to get established and these names that are going to stay for a while start to stay for a while.
Yeah.
But we're still switching our company.
Yeah, they're out here doing God's work, ladies and gentlemen. They've been on the front line of, yo, what's hot, what's not. They've been on the front line of, yo, save your money, bro. I tried this fucking XYZ and it was ass.
That's where this actually got off track is...
Oh, let me let you tell the
we're
story.
going to get back there right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more thing I have to say before we do that I realized about him, because we were talking about, how we met and how he pushed me and I pushed him. When he started doing that for me and we started to do this thing, I didn't know a lot of Adam's friends. Now I've gotten to know all of Adam's friends because we spend a lot of time together, especially at his wedding, things like that. Got to meet a lot of people. Come to find out, dude, that Adam is the type of motherfucker, dude, that if you are around him, he's going to make you a better person. Like, that's just the type of dude he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the type of dude he is. He's good energy. It's not even that. He sees the potential in you that you may not even see in yourself, and he pushes you to work that potential.
Hell yeah.
Which is
a hell of a partner. And
it's a priceless it's a priceless attribute that not a lot of people have.
Oh,
well, that's how
you know what I'm saying?
is with me, and it changed me so much.
Nice,
that it
bro.
made it contagious. Where it's like my whole group in college, fucking Armand, AJ, like everybody that we were bunked up with. It's like if they could find a way, to be like, yo, why are you doing this? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? With love. What the fuck are you doing, dog?
Right?
We appreciate that.
That's
how you showed you were real.
You wasn't around a bunch of yes men.
No yes men at all.
That's
So
beautiful.
I came from like it was appreciated to like keep it real.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's
man.
not real anymore.
And those
Hell
type of people make you want to be accountable.
Yes.
When you're on, when you have someone like that, it makes you believe the parts that you didn't even until you do. You know what I'm saying? It makes you want to be accountable. Yeah, it's priceless.
Well, we all got insecurities, right?
Exactly.
At the end of the day. And so when people can look at things that maybe you see as an insecurity for yourself, that they look at and they go, no, bro, you're seeing that because you're looking in the mirror, but I'm looking from another perspective, and that's not the case at all. And when you have that, it just reaffirms your decisions and dreams and things that you want to go after.
Facts.
And probably makes you chase some shit that you wouldn't chase before.
You're damn right.
You know what I'm
Damn
saying?
right.
They is dangerous, bro. Don't listen to they.
Right?
Yeah,
they are for sure.
They walk among us. They're everywhere.
And I think
Crabs
it's
in a
pretty
bucket.
cool.
Yeah.
Getting back into the discussion, I think it's pretty cool how you guys have went into like the connoisseur market. Like, because you guys are that. And most people like you guys want to open a delivery or get in where you fit in kind of into the industry
we'll get there too,
and
but-
set up. But you guys came in with choosing flavors, like as
that's
who
what matters
you
at the end
are.
of
Which makes it kind of dope. You guys picked the lane that is kind of natural to you guys. That felt good.
Well, it never started out as any business. We just started out
was
posting
organic.
doinks, and then all of a sudden we started getting people saying, "Yo, here's the zip for $4.50. Fucking, it's fire. Here you go." And we consider weed at this level. There's either work or there's art. We consider this type of shit art when it's really this much of an experience.
Yeah.
And you never bargain for art. So we knew we were getting cussed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we obviously felt however we felt about it, but we're never gonna fucking bargain for art. So whatever,
Sure.
you're gonna hit us for $4.50.
It's respectable,
cool.
bro.
And then it better smoke though.
That's right. Or
You
you're
know
going to hear
what I'm
from
saying?
us.
And then it wasn't for a while.
Or you
long
won't
time.
hear from us.
Or, yeah, that part.
Likely, yeah, but and it's
Yeah.
not like we're
It's
trying
worse.
to be dicks. It's like, bro, you're wiping us right now, dude.
Yeah.
And this shit's not smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And we have homies that are going through the same shit. So we're like, all right, now we're gonna do proper reviews.
Mm-hmm. Then it went to proper reviews. Got
Yeah,
it.
so people think it was like, oh,
We're
we're gonna
gonna
try
air
to get
these
big.
niggas out.
But, well,
You know, you get
if you're
sick.
trying to dog us,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Respectfully.
They're very respectful with
Just
the reviews,
factual,
too,
I
and
try.
fair. They're fair.
And like you said, it was organic. You know, it wasn't something. It was we were getting charged such an exorbitant amount of money for what we were buying, and like I said, when it's not good, what it makes you think is this, right? Luckily, we have side hustles, right? But I'm a single dad. I have full custody of both of my daughters.
Right.
At the time that this is going on, I'm
Ash, bro.
got you.
Ladies and gentlemen who just listening, that is Adam's portable vacuum.
Yeah,
we don't fuck around over here.
Yeah, no, we stay with that
pizza
thing.
podcast.
First.
We stay with that thing. But yeah, no. So
That's lit.
Stay ready to be courteous.
we're,
You know what I mean?
we're spending this ridiculous amount of money, and I think at the end of the day, it just got to the point to where I'm a single dad, and I got 2 daughters that I take care of by myself. And at the time, I was still working as a loan officer. And so, I'm doing what I can to scrape by and, provide for my kids, and I go out and spend $450 on a zip. If that zip is not good and it's something that I was told was, right, and I spent all this money on it, I'm now maybe stuck for a week smoking this boof until I get my next check, right? So we start thinking about how many people are there that are out there that are like that. Right. And like, fuck that. Like, let's start doing some reviews and like, let's say what's good and what's not. Let's save some people some fucking money, because we're over here getting jaw jacked on a daily basis,
And that's why it's weird that it came out to be, now it is turning into a business and shit. But at first, like, we were just relating as like, we're consumers, and we're just fucking trying to like look out for consumers. We don't give a fuck about being in the boys club. We don't give a fuck about being the cool shit or like whatever. We just want to look out and just like, because we wanted someone out there that put their opinions out that we could trust blindfolded and just be like, what's smoking? That's smoking? Hell yeah, I'm gonna go grab it. Like now we're just like, all right, if we ever have a menu, like we're starting a delivery in 2 weeks, it might only have one fucking strain on it.
Right.
It might only have one strain. But if it has 10 strains, you could throw a dart at the fucking menu and it's gonna smoke. Like you never ever ever have to ask.
And you guys are known for that.
Rather
Hands
go out of
fucking
business.
down.
You know what I mean? And if that gets big one day, hell yeah, but we're thinking it's probably just gonna stay small because it's hard to scale like
That kind of weed.
you know what I mean? But
Just not available at that amount.
How'd the name happen?
So, I've always called, shout out King David. Rest in peace, King David.
Jersey.
I have always
Salute, King David.
called because I don't ever roll small joints. I usually roll close to an eighth, if not more, every time I roll. So when I'd roll them, shout out to King David once again. If anybody doesn't know who he is, go look him up. He always called them doinks. He didn't call them joints. He called them doinks.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just adopted that from him, and I started calling them the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
that's what I called it through college too.
Yeah.
From the same video.
And so it came to the point to where when we're talking about like, what are we going to name it? We were kind of spitballing. I don't think we even spitballed a lot of things. I think we spitballed maybe 2 things, and then Proper Doinks came out of our mouth. And then when that came out, it was just like, that's it. Like, that's what it is. It's a proper doink. Like, that's all it is.
It rolls.
And then the hashtag, funny, back to what we were just talking about the weed sales, the hashtag, but how does it smoke, comes from every time I would hit anybody that I knew for weed, or they would hit me, yo, I just got this batch. Shit is stupid crazy, right?
Right.
My immediate next text is, but how does it smoke?
Yeah.
Because I could give a fuck what it smells like and
Smells,
looks like, or
looks,
what you think.
breaks
Have you
down,
smoked it and tell
all
me
that
what
shit.
it's smoking like?
Right.
It's like, imagine if a fucking wide receiver runs a fucking 3.9 somehow, right? But then he has to like have his arms amputated.
Yeah. Or
Like he's not relevant as a wide receiver anymore.
Yeah.
If you're
Or
fucking
he
bag
can't
appeal,
catch.
nose testing, everything,
Or-
and it doesn't
yeah.
smoke.
Yeah,
the
what are we
fuck?
doing?
Unless you're vaping it, right?
What are we doing here?
Unless
He
you're
runs a
vaporizing.
3.9, but he can't catch it all. He
And so-
drops
yeah.
every pass.
And so
That's like a pretty
we
weasel
wanted to be
bum.
we wanted to be those people that you never had to ask that question to.
right.
You never had to
Yeah.
ask, but how does it smoke? Because if it's coming from us, like you said, you could fucking throw a dart at the
look.
menu, dude, and whatever you hit's gonna be fire.
Or
For
we
the con-
told you on our review it wasn't that good.
Right.
Even that, we wouldn't carry it.
You wouldn't care.
If you ask us, we'll tell you the honest truth.
Right.
It's a stress-free buying experience because if they're telling me it smokes, they're like, "Yo, JP, this one smokes, bro. You're gonna want one of these. I'll probably grab 2." You know what I mean? Or if they're, "Yo, look, this ain't a 9. This is like an 8.5." I'm like, I can do an 8.5 from y'all. Y'all 8.5 is better than most. You know what I'm saying? I know it's an honest 8.5, but if it's like a 7, you're like, nah, I'm not gonna grab
Yeah,
it.
good,
You know, just
great, excellent.
good, great, excellent. There you
There's
go.
pretty good. It's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then there's fucking great, which is like generally what we're smoking. Excellent is rare, bro. Comes like every 6-9 months, every year.
Yeah.
Unicorn
What is the last
batches.
unicorn batch you
Unicorns.
had?
Olympics Lindy, or I guarantee you,
Hell yeah, bro.
guarantee you, this is gonna be.
This one's gonna
is
be.
gonna
This one's
be-
gonna
That
compete.
was
Because we can always tell in the beginning when it's smoking, when it's wet,
Yeah, I would say
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
Olympics.
Bro.
Lindy.
Give it
Bro,
2 weeks, bro.
you guys really fucking blessed me on my birthday. I got a rip tip, and you guys sold me a fucking ounce of the Olympics, Lindy, bro.
Oh,
That
yeah.
made my birthday so good, dude.
That's what's up, man.
Because when you out on the beach, man, and you rotating flavors, and you just need that guarantee, that
Right.
that first of the day,
The one.
I'm just like, it's
I
not
don't
a
even
question.
need flavors, bro. I need one strain
Yeah,
for
bro.
a year if it smokes right, because it's so rare. I'll take a unicorn for 2 years over like 4 great weeds in a year.
Yeah,
Because the unicorn experience is something
yeah,
else, bro.
for sure.
I got a question that's good for guys like you. That's a subject I don't think we've talked about. Why is the 3-gram joint better than the 1-gram joint?
Same reason a cigar is better than a cigarette. You know what I mean? It's just
If you have a longer, if you have something that's full flavored, full bodied, and smooth, and something that's enjoyable, I mean, we always want more or something that's enjoyable, right? So,
yes. It's like a ratio, right? Like our lungs, or I should say our mouth, not our lungs, have a certain drag. There's a scientific equation for how much drag there is, right?
Right.
And when there's less weed in the doink, it'll burn faster, and you want it to sit there and just combust, right? Like not necessarily rip down the joint, just like a cigar. And so if you have a lot of weed in there, not only is it like, imagine we had 10 grams in here, how hard you'd have to hit it to make the cherry get hot.
Right.
Versus 1 gram, you barely hit it and the cherry's hot. So if you have a good eighth in there, we've just noticed this, 4 or 5 grams, 3, 4, 5 grams is like the best way to just like keep the cherry nice and cool. To where anyone hitting it, even if you got a motherfucking Matthew McConaughey that's just like, just destroying your doink, we'll get into etiquette, dude.
I love
Can't
that we
wait.
got the real nigga answer and the scientific.
right?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. That's fucking good.
He was like, bro, you like more of it, right?
Right?
Yeah, it's good. You want more.
More.
So peep this, because I am fucking itching to ask you this next question because I feel like this is a good segue. RIP to that Ash. He had a good run.
It was. I could say it had a good run.
So I'm gonna ask you one more question before we dive into what a lot of the people have been waiting for. I feel like, but we're gonna do a quick vacuum break. Okay, we're good. So here's the deal. What is the next like? So where are you in terms of the career brand mission? What does the next like 5, 10 look like for you guys? Like, what do you guys got cooking up? Because I know, but I want them to know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now, taking it batch by batch. At the end of the day,
Okay.
just focusing on whether it's like to a homie or, we're starting a delivery in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Congratulations.
It's a beautiful
Thank you,
thing.
thank you.
It's good pizza. man.
It might only have 1 strain on the menu at a time,
All good, bro. I'll be calling.
but it's a guarantee. You know what I mean, that shit's moving. So we're gonna try to have the smallest menu in Cali, and at the end of the day, like the only thing that matters is there's no revenue goals in the next 5 years. It's just a goal of not missing,
Okay.
and it could be a lot of money or a little bit of money or a hobby or whatever. We just want to not miss. Recommend some shit to someone that's not smoking.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate knife.
That's
what I mean?
sick, bro. I love
And then
it.
everything else.
As a
happens,
weed
cool.
nerd, I
Like,
just want to thank y'all, man.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
install a brand reputation over
dude.
the next
'Cause
5
that's what's
years.
gonna build your
Is
stock,
make
bro.
their-
We're cussies at heart.
we
too, bro.
we tell
We're
each
behind
other
that
all
shit.
the time, we're like, because this grew so organically and it wasn't anything that we like sat down and mapped out like, okay, let's do this.
Right.
It's always been like, as long as we change this culture and the expectation, or have a little tiny blip on the map of the era that Proper Doinks was here to try to hold weed accountable for what it should be,
Hell
and,
yeah.
and bring you what they consider to be the best available. As long as we can do that, dude, I'm happy.
Yeah, everything
yeah.
else will be dope too.
Everything else is a cherry on top.
Yeah,
That's
we're
a
gonna
fact.
try to do a lot while never flexing on like the whole point of it.
But
Nice.
to speak to what JP's talking about, because I know what he was talking
there's
about.
more
Yeah,
to
who
ask
you,
the
who you
question.
working with?
That's a disclaimer.
Who you working with?
There you go.
Disclaimer, yeah.
And
So-
what strains can we expect from the camp?
So
So
Talk to me,
basically, yeah,
Cuisine.
go ahead. I'm gonna let Adam take this.
there's just a lot of shit right now. But like basically locking down lights and getting a line going. So there's only one way to do it though. Like you can't have like your facility be just for your brand, because then like you're financially obligated.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we're doing, we're trying to figure out how to not be obligated to commit to something that might not be great or excellent.
Yeah.
And everything's at least great.
Yeah.
And so like we're trying to like work with a lot of brands that want to stay small and want to like really be like a real small batch shit. And obviously, you know, with fucking Jordan's weed, we just turned into some crackheads. So every time he fucking has a harvest, we're like, "What up, dude? You know what I mean?
What's up with
cracking?"
it?
And then that, you know, we just got to talking to shit, and like Vision's hella aligned, and so he's actually be running Proper Reserves, which is basically our flower line, which might be hella small, might be a fucking 10-pound batch of one strain that comes out if that's what's smoking. You know what I mean? Like we're never gonna put something in, no matter what the fuck. We're not putting something in Proper Reserve bags. We have other brands we can put it in if it's good.
That's right.
But yeah, it's just going to be a virgin brand that's untouched by booth. That's just 100% trustworthy. The goal, right? Like, we'll see. But that's the goal.
So, and Jordan from Blueprint's going to be growing for you guys.
And we're going to be growing all of our strains that are our favorite strains. We want to bring those to the market, grown by Jordan, which we believe will be grown
A1 day one.
So
He
RS11,
Jack Herrera.
RS11,
Skittles.
Skittles. He grew Jack.
Dude, he grew Jack. That made me
Just knocked your
re-question my
socks
life.
off.
I thought
Yeah.
about every other strain.
You
that
remember
I
when
ever
Jack
smoked,
was
and I
dope when you were
50.
shorty? You know what
No,
I'm saying?
dude.
No, he's like,
No.
nah, don't actually.
I like the smell or whatever, but nah, not the
I
smell.
love Jack and Trainwreck growing up.
Me too,
I
man.
used to love it.
I just never.
Trainwreck was a Trainwreck had it.
Trainwreck was
there.
definitely.
Yeah,
I was
It
never
just
a
made me
big
so
Jack
paranoid,
fan, but
bro.
the Trainwreck,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did.
Right. Right.
But anyways,
Sunset.
we want to
Sugar.
have some shit that we're breeding, which we got some shit in the works, and that's I don't even know if we can talk about that.
We
yet.
won't,
That-
we won't
that's
touch
a-
on that,
that's a
but what do we
project
know
of its
for
own.
sure is coming? RS11, you said.
RS11, Sunset Sherbet, Skittles.
Banger. That's the first thing. We
Sure,
might
Banger
drop,
22,
depending on how
right?
it comes out.
You guys are coming out before like the masses get the cuts. That's dope.
Yeah.
Are you guys in flower?
We are in flower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. So Banger.
Yeah, but we'll see.
That's like a solid
'Cause, like,
fucking
again,
lineup. That is a nice lineup,
Anything
bro.
coming out, it's got to be fucking great. So
Yeah,
if anything happens, then fucking A. But
hella good pizza.
we just want to have some shit that everybody knows, right? So they can be like, all right, I smoked this brand's this, and I smoked this brand's this, and like so give something relative, and then
Sure.
1 to 3 strains at a time, something that we worked on.
Love that.
You know what I mean? Which is going to be from Unicorn Batch. Which Unicorn Batch is like, we're not trying to like, there's a place for every way of going about it, and it's mad respect because all the other ways have to be done. But we're just really trying to collect the shit that rocked the market at one point in time and is like a real palate like pleaser. You know
Sure.
what I mean? And then only breed those together.
Yeah.
Just unicorns with unicorns.
You're supposed to do
Yeah,
that, as I learned from the breeding process.
Yeah.
Like
And
you
just
got to
see what
put
happens.
power on power. You know what you love to what you love. Make sure that don't try some. Maybe this will be good. Like
Yeah, and there's a place
yeah.
for that, and it's worked, and it's been had a.
Well, that can work too, but yeah,
There's all that's dope as fuck. It's just you got to decide what the fuck what
Yeah.
little niche, and that's just our
hell yeah.
Yeah. People
Love
like
that.
like Deep East. Shout out to them again.
Shout out to you. Hell yeah.
People like them, are already, doing that, and that's what it's supposed to be,
He's
right?
doing the fucking work,
Because
bro.
look, we all have different palates, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, and so that's always subjective, whether you
Always,
like a
always,
jack or
yeah.
you don't like a jack or whatever, But if everybody took their favorite stuff and started doing their own little breeding projects, trying to figure out and make their next thing that they
Yeah.
might like we could all get on our own hype on
Absolutely.
some shit, you know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
really create new things, you know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah.
And I think knowing well-grown weed
That's the
is
biggest key.
like, because someone can grow a lot of things phenomenally and make something you might not have liked, like
Well,
something
there's like
that might be
99
okay.
check boxes.
Yeah,
right?
there's like,
One check box,
so
leave everything off.
Yeah.
like, yes, there is,
True.
I guess, a terpene profile that'll agree with your system more than others. So those
Like,
type of
I've
weeds
said-
will be better or make you feel the best.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
well-grown weed, kind of top shelf exotics, like they're mostly hybrids across the board, and it's not that far off in effect. So when great known weed and going to a guy's who's telling us what the new shit is that's dope, like that is that fire is like it's there's still a big space for it. Like,
Definitely.
yeah, I think
Definitely.
it's.
And I'm glad they're fucking doing it. I'm right behind them, man.
Yeah, right,
no,
right.
Like,
You are kind of pulling up.
we're like saying, we say it all the time,
yeah.
like off mic, off camera, like, yo, we're the next gen, bro. We're the next homies up. Like, we about to hop off the bench into this motherfucker. Man. Like,
Exactly.
it's exciting to
It
do it
is.
with your friends and like, you know what I mean? It's you're gonna see some proper pizza, trust me.
Yeah.
We got some shit cooking up. We got pizzas in the oven, boys and girls.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It is dope to watch.
But yeah, dude, thank you, man.
But that's subjective shit. That's why, you never heard us be like, unless it's a casual just comment, but not in a review. We'll never be like, oh, we liked this terpene specifically. It's everything. It's just how did it perform.
right.
You know what I mean? Like there's like, for example, like we just had Ethics, shout out Ethic Farms, pistachio
Yeah, big
gelato
shout out
from
Ethic
Greasy.
Farms.
And like I don't like the pistachio nose too much. You know what I mean? It's just not really my turf or whatever. It's cool, but
it's light.
but it performed great.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And it translated accurately and everything. So there's
Yeah.
a whole little ranking system. But
Yeah.
like,
And
it
there-
has nothing to do with if we like it or not.
I mean, Skittles don't look good.
Yeah.
When it's the best Skittles, it don't look like, the best on the shelf. But the best
When
one.
weed's ugly and expensive, I'm like, I get really excited.
Yeah.
You have to smoke.
Because Skittles could take
Yeah.
the Pepsi
And
challenge
I'll pay
with
more.
anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have.
Anything.
Anything.
It's
I love
it's
ugly.
arguably the best strain out there.
Ugly but healthy.
And
you know what I mean?
there's a lot of people
for
that
sure.
agree with you, and
Yeah.
I'm not one of them that disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So that's fucking dope shit, man. I'm really excited for you guys, man. Thank you for sharing the stories, and I love where you guys are going, man. It's fucking good shit. It's good pizza, man. So we're gonna hop into some questions real quick, and I feel like Adam might take this one. What should the industry know that you know, and can we share or debunk some stories or myths in the cannabis world, or just fucking talk about white ashes and check marks of cannabis?
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we really want to hear. You know what I mean?
So this is like a little, I gotta be honest, this is like a little 5-6 minute rant.
Let's do it, bro.
Talk your
We're
shit.
ready.
Because it has
Talk
like a
your
beginning
shit.
and an end, and
Love it.
ties it.
Love all
so,
of it. Do it.
So we've been theorizing for how long. Like I said, and we do the same shit that we do now with Jordan a lot, because he's also like a connoisseur and has a palate. Like a lot of
Sure.
growers don't smoke; they're just moving work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's just
that's the
work.
thing.
For Jordan, it's like this motherfucker's obsessed.
Yeah.
You know what
Chasing
I mean?
perfect
Like,
nods.
he's a freak. You know what I mean? Like when he's in the lab, and so getting to talk to him, both know like he has the growing background, and then we've been focusing on the consuming background as like a job, not as like a hobby. And so being able to come up with shit, dude. Yeah, we think we got a good fucking theory, and it basically comes down to like, all right, how do I start this? So a few things to know first is like weed can be like fire, test high, yield high, every fucking thing hits, right? But we're thinking if it's a little mineral deficient, that beautiful plant with that fucking amazing oil can't be experienced right. And the reason it can't be experienced right, we've been looking at like cigar studies and shit, and just like, because the white ash thing's hella controversial. I think people think that we're looking at a doink being like, okay, it has white ash, all right, well then that means I enjoy it, cool.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. And
no,
it's
like,
easy to see that, but
Yeah,
it's way deeper.
So it goes into flavor, smoothness, combustion, and then the combustion kind of gets into the white ash. But like to start with flavor, it's like there's like 4 different things about flavor to notice. It's like the accuracy, how accurate does it taste compared to how it smelled, and then the presence of the terps, how present are they? Is it like a syrup, like we said, or is it like a watered down juice where you can taste it, but it's just like you're looking for it. It's
Yeah,
not slapping
for sure.
your fucking mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's the purity of that flavor. Is there background noise like smoke, tar, ash, or some other foreign shit, some spray, whatever.
Yeah.
Something that's burning in there that shouldn't be burning. And then for the longevity of the purity, the accuracy, and the presence, the longevity of those 3 things.
Like how long does the flavor last till the joint craps
does
out
it,
with
does
flavor?
it smoke to the glass one
To
day
the
off the
glass.
stem, fucking 9 days
Yeah.
early?
Feel me?
Wet as a bitch. I'm pulling threads out the stems. So like, and then to smoothness, it's like, well, because also real quick with flavor, if it poops out halfway through, then like if you're spending $50 or $400 on a zip, then you're really only getting a half zip,
Right.
half your joint.
Right,
So
if you
now
do
you're
the
spending
math.
$400 on a half.
You do the math.
But if it smokes to the end, then fucking A.
Practice.
And then with smoothness, it's like there's smooth and harsh, and then there's different types of smooth and harsh. So it's like there's smooth where it's like there's a absence of something harsh where you hit it and you're like, okay, I'm not coughing, my throat doesn't necessarily hurt. I think that's smooth. You know what I mean? And then there's a smooth where even if it was a little harsh, it comes with such a soothing, like medicinal effect on your throat that it just coats your whole palate, and then it makes whatever was harsh smooth.
Yeah.
So you could put it in a salad with something harsh and it'll damn near cover it up.
Yeah, right.
So there's like different types of smooth.
Sure.
And then different types of harshes. There's like a heat harsh. There's a burning like spray harsh. There's a burning stem harsh. There's a burning seed harsh. There's a fucking, you know, so it's like hotness is abrasiveness on the throat. So like some shit'll make your nasal tract sting. Some shit'll make your tonsils sting. Some shit'll make your throat hot and harsh, make you thirsty, irritate your lungs. And then there's that hurt so good. You know what I mean? Like, like that expansion where you're it's like a satisfying cough, and you're like, damn. So there's hella levels within that, and then usually, if all the right check boxes throughout flavor and smoothness are hit, it ends up. What do you fucking know? The ashes are fucking bone white with a mineral rich like glow to it and a soft like sandcastle ash structure along the side. It's not like a plywood chunky fucking ash.
Sure.
It's like I wish they could zoom in on this when it was full. But it's a very specific type of white ash. And it just tends to correlate with the smoothest, most flavorful weed. Substantial weed. You know what I mean? And the reason that we think that is, the whole theory to kind of explain it is like magnesium's like the hottest fucking mineral you can feed a plant. Calcium's up there too. Go figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like when your cherry is hot enough, instead of burning the terps, which, by the way, oil can't burn white, right? So oil can only burn black or evaporate. So when you're trying to consume the terpenes within plant material, right? The plant is just it's just delivering the terps. So you want it to be as unobstructive as possible. So if the cherry's hot enough, the heat from the cherry will evaporate the oil out of the plant material, and actually, like, you're almost more like dabbing the fucking oil within the plant. And some weed will fucking burn hot enough to maybe evaporate half of it, and that's why you see some shit that's like, yeah, this is white, it's a little peppery, but it's white. It probably evaporated like a big chunk of it, but left some behind to be then burned by the cherry when it catches up. You know what I mean? And then burnt oil, that's why it's like, oh, if it could be peppery. I've still had some fire weed that was like white but peppery, and it's like, for sure, same. I get over that little tickle of like burnt oil, but like, yeah, there's some shit that's really fire. The thing is, when you burn oil, not only does it taste bad, because like it's a carcinogen, it's like one of the worst carcinogens, burning an oil. You know, there's like burning plastic, burning different things. Oil's a really bad one, so you never want to burn it. Dabbing's the best way to do it because you're vaporizing it. There's no carcinogen.
Yeah.
So, and it's not altering the fucking terp, like from a chemical standpoint.
Sure.
So anyways, if you can get something that's hot enough to burn like this all the way to the end, still have white ashes, that just means it's plowing through and vaporizing everything, and then the cherry catches up with just mineral-rich plant material that combusts hella well, stays hot. I haven't hit this in a minute. I'm pretty sure I've been rambling, holding the doink here. Why? Come on, bro. You gotta let me know when I'm holding the doink.
I figured you'd take a breath at some point.
He's that dude.
But it's still smoking. I am, dude. Once
Shout out to my cousin AJ.
No, we're both him, dude. We'll sit there because we smoke alone a lot too.
Yeah.
But anyways, a shitty ass weed can combust hella well, but still be fuck ass weed, and still be like horrible oil with fucking. It can still be harsh and everything else. But I've never had like, you can have some fire, like no till whatever, and if it's not combusting, you'll never be able to enjoy the oil that's trapped within the plant properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not going to vaporize it out. It'll burn it.
But is there a common thing that's happening? 'Cause you
Overflushing,
gave like 16 scenarios of what could be happening with white ash between taste and everything else.
Well, there's the
is there
grinder,
something
there's
normal that's like 80% of the time what's happening with white ash or dark ash, and most of these are rare? Or
I think it's just it's like you said, it's a correlation, right? So like you said, we're not looking for the white ash. What we're looking for is that smooth, substantial mouth coating flavor. That's what we search for when we smoke. We want it to be something enjoyable, something that doesn't hurt your throat. something that coats your palate completely, like a Skittles or a Zope or an RS, something that's just super substantial when it comes to flavor, not hollow in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And so we noticed that correlation of whenever we find something that we hit and we're like, wow, that's exactly what we look for. When we look down, it's always white ash, but it's not just a white ash. It's a certain kind of white
People are
ash.
torching the shit out of
Basically,
their ashes,
Right.
trying to make them
basically,
white.
you could say this:
It's not about that.
we've had weed that burns white that is not enjoyable,
Right.
Oh, a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
too.
it, dude.
But-
A lot of it.
Recently.
but we have never had weed that burns black.
Perfect.
That burns black. That is good. Period.
Ever.
So
And we're
the
still looking for
correlation
it.
somewhere with white ashes is with good weed, whether people want to admit it or not.
Right.
Because that's something that we've noticed over the last few years of just literally R&Ding every flavor in California.
Right.
And so like we tend to notice like, okay, this is something that
We're just still
And
looking
could
for
it be?
dude. Like,
Yeah.
Could it be that it is possibly the residual amount of calcium and or magnesium that's left in the plant due to a tapered flush versus a full?
That's where you're gonna
fucking
have to
tubing
talk to my
flush?
man Jordan.
yeah, that
So
that
Jordan will be here in
We got our
January.
theories,
Yeah.
our theories.
we're not growers and we don't pretend to be. That's that's not our
Like we're
lane.
grown, but nothing we would. smoke.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna get part 2 of this in January when
Yeah,
Jordan comes on the show.
that's his.
And
Hey,
we
yo,
was
yo,
and we was on quick questions.
Yeah, no, this wasn't it.
It
This
turned
wasn't
into
it.
a whole
No,
conversation.
no.
Oh,
That
no,
was
we
planned.
weren't on
That was planned. That wasn't rapid fire. That was planned.
No, not
The only
rapid.
thing that he put out though
Yeah.
is that flushing like he put this out already, so that's the only reason we keep going on. It's like, okay, you're gonna kill your plant for 2 weeks before you fucking harvest it when it's ripe. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. That's the only concept. It's like, oh, that makes sense. And then you see shit burn midnight black, and it's so mineral deficient because the water stripped all the minerals out of the plant
Yeah.
when it was dying.
Because once that part entered in the conversation, now the science part of my brain's like, oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Tobacco had this figured out forever too. That's the crazy thing, and it's the only other people are like it's not the same. Well, it's a plant material that we're fucking
Chief
combusting and inhaling that also has terpenes. So I don't know. Yeah,
Nib,
you know,
tobacco
there's gonna be
terps.
similarities at least. You can't apples to apples it, but there's gonna be some similarities.
Exactly.
So that was great, bro. Thank you for elaborating.
Yeah, fucking made it through. Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Oh well, hold
You
on, I
did.
didn't, dude. There's more shit.
Continue.
Moisture. That's another because there's different
Yeah.
black ashes, right? And yeah, I just made it through the white ash part, not even the black ash part. When you're hitting a doink, right, and it's wanting to go out and burn black, there's little micro pockets of the doink that already went out, and it's like half burnt flour, just chilling.
Okay.
And when you hit it again, the cherry like expands and goes and reignites all that half burnt flour. And then on a small scale, it literally tastes like you're relighting a doink right next to a fresh doink, because it's all mixed in. There's some fresh
Yeah.
flour being vaporized, some oil being burnt, and some half burnt flour being relit. So it'll taste like all those 3 different things. And you can like really, when you're looking for them and you know they're there, then you taste it, then you can hella be like, okay, yep. When a oil ring, when it dips into the cherry, for 3 hits, your shit's fucked, dude. Usually. There's some special shit that it doesn't really affect it, but usually if the oil gets in there, you're burning reclaim pretty much.
Wow.
You know
That's
what I
how that's how we know as
Protect
joint
the cherry.
professional smokers, we know how to juggle the fucking oil
Yeah,
ring.
keep it at that angle with the smoke still going up. Smoke is just an indication of the heat and where it's traveling.
Yeah.
So it's like,
That's it.
as long as it's running up the sides, that's a whole conversation too. Jesus.
Jesus, it goes waters run deep, man.
I feel like it's hella
It's shit.
nerdy, dude, when it goes deep.
For real.
Yeah, it's a trip.
No, thank you, man. I was dying for you to explain that to my cugines on the show. So what's your why, boys? Why do you do it, man? What gets you up in the morning and gets you fucking going?
Shit.
Whoever would like to take that first.
Yeah, shit. I mean, my kids for sure, 100%. My little girls.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I tip my hat to you, man. Single dad,
Yeah.
taking care of your 2 kids, got full custody, man. Good shit, bro.
Yeah,
It's good
not
pizza.
only that, man. I love
It's a
the
beautiful
plant.
thing.
Love the plant as well, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta love what you do too,
Oh,
right? You know what I'm
fuck, yeah.
saying? This is
Fuck
any
yeah.
any aspect of this industry that anybody's in, I have respect for because there's a lot that goes along with it.
Definitely. And we all have our part, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
And to work on your passion is priceless.
Oh yeah,
to be able to, you know.
So
absolutely.
I make less money, but I get to be myself for a living and like not work for others, and that's like priceless to me. Like just to have that control over my life and shit like that.
For sure.
And the things I do, I'll love them, like filmmaking, whether it's podcasting, whether it's cannabis. I love all the things I do. I have business ADD, so I need to do a few different things. But fucking, I love them all, so they don't feel like work. And like I'm a bad employee, but a great owner. You know what I mean? Like,
I felt that hard, dude.
look, go ahead.
You, sir. What is your why, Adam? Why do you do it,
man? Dude, honestly, I think it's like a mixture of three things. One, because I just don't know what the fuck else to do. Like I just want to be doing it. You know?
Yeah.
Just doing something, and it's dope because I've been in hella little fucking things. You know what I mean?
You're a serial
the weed was
entrepreneur.
always there.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
only
sure
thing
a
I can
pub
live
nigga.
my own. So like, yeah, I mean, just because I fucking don't know what else to do. But two, I love the plant. Also, you know, just like the feeling, the childish feeling of hitting some shit that's fucking smoking and knowing you just found it, dude. There's like that's peak for me. That's like
that's dope.
about as good as it gets. Right next to like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. No.
I was like bringing a new
Strain
album,
hunters.
like bringing a new album to your block when you was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up.
You was the
Changed
first
the
guy.
whole
to
vibe,
bring-
bro.
Straight up. He
You
gets to
was
bring
the
everyone
first guy,
on.
You put everybody
Pop the
on.
cassette in.
Yeah. Exactly.
Listen to this, bro.
Listen to this.
And it's already queued up on the song.
Right?
You feel me?
Is this Green Gold Collective LCD?
It is.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is, my friend.
That's that childhood feeling that we as adults
part
still
of
need.
the belt on that I just didn't feel like rolling it.
Yeah, fucking A. Yeah.
No, that was a super violation, but
But no, even a new batch.
it's my show, so I said fuck it.
Even a new batch of something, not even a new strain, just finding a new batch of something. Just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you live for that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Doing to other people what he did to me in terms of like waking up their palate and shit.
Yeah,
showing
man.
The difference. That's really, it's like
Yeah,
a
man.
childish obsession with that.
Dude, I love what you guys did for me as far as like I already knew these things were there. I just didn't know how to explain them. My brain wasn't looking for them, like, you know, the throatiness, the abrasiveness, the different kinds of all the things you just explained. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really, and like even to when I roll a joint, don't fucking stuff it right away. I was blowing joints up. You know what I mean? Like just these little things, the joint tech and the weed connoisseur shit to look for in the smoking experience, man. Like it added to my checklist. You know what I mean?
And I'm not gonna lie,
That's
dude,
fucking dope, bro.
I still feel like we
I've
suck
been
at
smoking
rolling
for a long
joints.
time.
You know what I mean?
That's
yeah.
wild.
Like there's some gangsters out there. We just give a fuck hella about what's in them.
Yeah.
More so, that's what people think we're like a rolling company. We're like, dude, we just understand like how important it is to. Because here's the thing, bro. If you don't know how to roll it right, then the pressure's not even. Then it's burning too quick. You're not experiencing it for what it could be.
Yeah.
If you're holding it wrong and you're dropping oil in it, and doing all this shit, or hitting it too fast, causing runs.
Yeah, dude, that's a big
That
one.
can cause it to taste like a relit doink because you get this run where it's like the cherry's burning here, but it's also burning half burnt flour up here from the run. So you're getting a fucking relit doink taste off a run. So like all these little things,
Yeah.
it seems hella childish and like petty, but it's like
No, it gives
let
you
that
better
shit
experience.
cool down.
Let it
bro.
cool down.
Relax, you're
I
holding
didn't
it.
realize how terrible it is to smoke joints in the wind. Like I used to be on the
Oh,
block,
yeah.
fucking smoking weed, like
Just overheats
in a
the cherry. and
windstorm.
fucking-
Yeah, just like man, this shit tasted different last night. I literally, my dumbass, I burned, and this is documented too. Me and Turkeyback Tom were on J Street bugging out after our first podcast, and like I rolled up the last of the what's my man's name, Mr. Cushington, the Skittles Gushers.
Okay.
Okay.
You know
Good
what I'm
mix.
talking about?
I don't think I've had that.
I've only had the lemon.
Yeah, I've had the lemon up.
Yeah, so Skittles Gushers 15, I think it was, and I'm
Okay.
like, this shit was smoking last night. I'm smoking, it's windy as fuck. I'm lighting it in the alleyway,
Right.
and it's just man, just nuts. I just didn't like the taste. I remembered
Like,
it.
you
And
can still get high in the wind and shit, but
Yeah, you
if you really
can.
want to enjoy the experience to where you get to the
yeah,
end,
bro,
perfect
just
ring.
the
perfect
terps were
line.
fucked up
Yeah.
because it was burned too hot.
It overheats shit. And then
Yeah.
causes hella runs.
You
Like, I
guys
know
ever
this is amazing weed. What the fuck?
You guys ever thought about like as far as like where the brand's going, like how you guys could like in a business sense pick menus for dispensaries
We
around
have
the
some
country
situations
or around
like
the
that.
state where they can call you guys to curate their menu.
Well, they're
for
just
a
going to
fee.
end up logging into our menu and buying the same shit.
And
probably,
then
but-
that's
so we're
the
not
goal.
even trying. We have some
That's
homies
the
that we're going to
goal
help
is to
out.
direct them to you guys.
Yeah.
So-
But like we're gonna basically like every single batch is going to have to be smoked. So like not a lot of companies are going to want to deal with that because we're not like ballers. We're doing this delivery in a way where we were like, okay, either we have to have members only, high minimum order,
Right.
Situation and deliver once or twice a week. You know what I mean? Or we can't do it.
Right.
So like,
I'm like,
because we can't sell a bunch of booth to like keep the lights on.
Right.
Like, so we had to get a non-binding situation where we're working with Go Herba, who's like, they're gangsters with logistics. They do our distribution.
that's dope.
And yeah, fucking they just like they have the refrigerated van. I was like, yo, we need a humidity controlled fridge in the back for the rosin. They're like strapped in the back, boom, set up, always running, separate battery for it and shit. And so like the garage you pull into is AC, storage is at 68, like everything is still on point with what they do. But that we're like, all we have to do is make a menu. They have the whole logistics system.
Oh, you're contracting through a delivery? You're
Well,
putting
so,
your menu
yeah,
on a delivery service?
It's a delivery distro combo.
Nice.
Like they just have the licenses, you know what I mean?
Fuck, yeah.
And the infrastructure.
Because I was wondering how you were going to pull this off with like a delivery license, paying for, your monthly overhead. I'm like, fuck, dude.
No,
I don't
it's
know.
like- it's like
While
a revenue.
while boasting,
boutique
we
weed.
have the smallest menu in
You feel me?
California.
I'm like,
Because there's only
these guys are
Because it's-
gangsters, man.
Yeah.
I would have to
But that
sell
makes sense.
every batch.
No, that's strategic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it.
Yeah.
We might be out of stock for 2 months. There's a possibility of that, and we're ready to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we want people to know if something's on the menu, it's because that shit is fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At the end of the
Fuck
day,
yeah.
the goal is to never compromise. The goal is to never compromise the standard and to always bring the standard. Like I said, we
Yeah.
want people to never have to ask us how it smokes. So if that means that there's no batches around right now, there's no batches around.
Then you just
right
know. Then you're like, damn, Cali's fucked up right now, man. I mean, we were just talking about this, man.
now. Yeah, we were.
Like we don't both have like a bunch of jars lined up right now at the fire. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just this is how it is right now this week.
Give
We'll
me
just call it this
Yeah,
week.
us 10
give us
days.
10 days. Give us 10 days, bro.
Jordan's
We'll
got-
change-
I'm already
we'll
knowing.
change that for you.
I'm already knowing, man. I'm already knowing. So let's talk about weed etiquette, man. What fucking grinds your gears about the smoking
don't even
experience?
get
About
him
that?
started.
No, let's get him started. Who's got this one?
He's got
Paulie, what you got
Don't let
for
me
us?
get started.
Oh, man. There's a lot of things. Smoking etiquette, man.
Especially from a self-proclaimed OCD or that.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
there's too many, dude. It's making me want
50
to.
ways to jump in the pool right now.
Yeah. So I think the first thing would be people that make my joint run, my doink run. Yeah, I mean like that's
Steaming it. Just
that's my biggest pet peeve. Period. Like, dude, if you're really looking to get that high, just let me know. I'll roll one for you personally. Like,
Yeah.
I'd much
Or take a
rather,
dab, dude.
I'd much rather do that. Like,
Yeah.
shout out my homeboys in Dixon that I love, that I kick it with, that I grew up with. But man, that's anytime I go kick it with them.
Yeah, just roll them a personal.
When I pull up, I roll up a monster for the boys.
yeah, like a fucking gentleman.
Hand it to them.
I like it.
And then I roll up my doink, and I'm like, it's the same weed.
Yep.
So you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
you ain't
right.
missing nothing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you ain't missing nothing.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
Go track star that all you want.
And I'll be over here.
Fucking, it's burnt all the way up to here on this side, but there's a full joint on this side. It's like, bro, what are you guys doing? So yeah, that
Take it easy.
that's I think one of my biggest pet peeves on
a good
planet
one.
Earth.
My biggest pet peeve is the oil ring. If a motherfucker lets that drip into the cherry because they're talking and they're not rotating the joint, like it's on a 360. Huh?
She was a good one, man. She was a good one.
She was a good one. She hang on.
Oh no, it's on the floor. I think.
Yeah, that's cool.
Gotta be courteous.
That's all good.
But
And you
I'd
might
say-
have to shout out what vacuum you roll in. I
Yeah.
feel like you guys are gonna sell a bunch of them off the stretch
Yeah.
of this show because niggas gonna see that. Because
So-
like I'm gonna go home and look. Like,
Yeah. Fair warning. It's fucking. We're coming out with the proper vacuum soon. Right? This is a big.
All
part
right.
of the
Yeah,
set.
this is.
But this right here is a Briggy with 2 eyes at the end, and it's on Amazon for like $40.
Look, for
Good
the
grab.
win. That's
Good
good.
grab.
Plug it into the car.
I fucks
In the
with it.
car, bro.
Yeah, they stay in the whips. That one's his. I got mine in my glove box. If you pop my glove box right now, you see what's sitting right in my glove box.
Keep it
Good
up.
deal. Yeah, I make long drives. I need that.
So check this out. And this is both y'all gonna have to answer this individually. If you could smoke with one person, 2 people, one dead, one alive, who would it be?
Fun, dude.
Could be famous, could be
Whoever,
family,
man.
could be a smart
a
mentor,
fallen
could
soldier,
be
comrade you used to love,
could
smoke
be
with, whatever.
Shit. I should have prepared for this one more.
No wrong answer. It could be right from the hip.
One
One
start with one
alive.
alive.
Would probably be Snoop.
No, that's a good one.
I got
For
that
sure.
one.
Would probably
Yep.
be Snoop. Snoop would
Try to get him off the backwoods.
Snoop would definitely be something. No,
Snoop
Snoop's
Snoop-a-delic.
choice too. I definitely, yeah, man, yeah. I'd love to sit and burn and
I'm sure if
chop
you,
it up
if
with
you
the
rolled him
dog,
a
with
proper
the dog
doink,
father.
yeah, for sure, the big
Yeah,
dog, Uncle
yeah,
Snoop.
You know,
Shout out to Uncle
and
Snoop,
then
man.
Dad would be my homie Nick for sure.
No doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Rest in peace, Nick.
Rest in peace, Nick.
Facts.
I feel like, damn. Yeah. I'll probably alive go with Larry June. Just because I feel
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
specifically, I feel like he's the type of dude
Hey.
Keep going there.
to like, he appreciates the good shit, like the finer things.
Oh, for
And
sure.
he wants to be put on game. He doesn't have an ego,
Fuck
like
yeah,
he knows
man.
everything about smoking already, right?
Everything organic, baby.
So he's a sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he keeps leveling up. And so I feel like
Yeah.
if he experienced weed at this level, rolled at that level, like I think he would.
On
It'd
some
be
real
great.
flash
It'd
shit
be
with a
great.
fresh glass and
Yes.
some organic orange
And
juice.
he's just probably got hella free game. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
it's not in his music already, but like, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
shit that doesn't rhyme.
Shout
Yo,
out
you know
Larry
what's
June
shout out
for
Larry
sure.
June, man, was impressive to me was his age, man. I didn't realize how young homie was, man. Like,
Yeah. And then
damn, he's moving real mean.
You
the
could
dude that put
definitely.
me on
It's
to
fucking
Larry June
dope.
is the dude that I would smoke with second, J Mac. So he passed away like a couple years ago. He was the homie. He was working with some karma and shit. And he introduced me to Larry June, and when he was like small, like he was
Sure.
not big yet. Biggest fan in the world. We did a Nef the Pharaoh like weed event at his release party.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And he got to take a picture with him and shit. And I was like, and then he passed away shortly after.
Damn.
But yeah, he was his favorite rapper, and I never really listened to the music too much. You know what I mean? Because I get stuck on one type of shit, and I'm just like not hearing the music.
Mhm.
And ended up like I don't know, just seeing where Larry June went, seeing like just hella shit that he was about to do. He was a rapper. He was catching fucking momentum and. Just
Hell
to be able
yeah.
to show him what the fuck's going on right now, smoking
Hell
one
yeah.
more time, you know.
Right.
So,
Right.
That's dope.
tight.
Those are good answers, boys. I like it. Well, I can't ask either one of you this question. We're gonna skip this one. You both have ladies, so I'm not gonna ask you the crazy shit that happened in the strip club while you were stoned. We're gonna skip that one.
I never go to the strip club. Dude.
That's good. That's good, man. What's the first smoking device you ever had to MacGyver?
MacGyver.
Yeah, like just you
Mine's
had to
an
put some
Apple.
shit
Oh,
together
fucking-
and just fucking you were
fucking-
kids and
I mean,
Cocaine.
probably like. I mean, what's the craziest or the first?
the first,
Probably a fucking soda can.
and then the craziest.
The craziest was probably knife rips.
Knife rips, no shit. Weed
I'm
knife
fucking
rips.
You ever had knife rips?
Oh, the hash, yeah, but
Yeah.
not fucking weed,
Oh,
bro.
bro, dude.
Damn,
Dude, yeah.
that's rough.
Used
It's
to
like
crazy.
secondhand smoke.
Yeah, some
Good to look up and shit,
crazy,
dude.
yeah,
Oh,
some just
man.
craziness, yeah, for sure.
That's good.
Yeah. Fucking
Out of
Apple.
you, sir. Apple, yeah.
it was the
Did you use
first-
the apple or the can for the first one?
It was my first time smoking, so nothing can beat that.
Yeah,
It was the
yeah.
Apple.
Right.
Did you eat the apple?
And then, yeah, fuck yeah. Ate
Cool.
the dude made me eat the
Proper.
said he
bowl,
made
dude.
Proper.
He's like, no, it's a
Fuck
tradition. I'm like, well, fuck, if it's a tradition, you know.
Hell yeah.
And then the Jeeber, dude, shout out to fucking Dylan, Lucas, and Nemo, dude. We used to fucking put little sockets, you know, like fucking melt it into a cap and fucking put the bowl in there and just fucking cut the bottom of the water bottle off.
Oh
Pour it
yeah.
up for the
Little
gravity
gravity
bomb.
bomb. Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
a little
That shit
a little
Those are
bit
fun.
almost made me throw up every single
Yo,
time.
you could get some thick fucking smoke in there, bro.
Yeah,
If
and
you
like-
got that shit tight.
and potentially like burst a lung, dude. Like,
Fuck
Oh
that
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, because you're just kind of pushing it. You're not
Well, it's
really
just
hitting
stale,
it.
stagnant, disgusting
bro.
smoke that came through a fucking socket. Dude.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, we did the biggest Gatorade bottle. Shout out to my nigga Dave Velasquez. He fainted. He took it.
Yeah.
Plop
If I did
right
one
on
today,
the
I'd
fucking
faint.
side,
Yeah,
bro.
no
Went
bueno.
right down. We
No
was
bueno.
17, maybe. It
I
was-
never flexed the
Yeah.
lung strength. Dude.
Yeah, don't. Nothing proof. So I need both of your three strains from both of you, but one is your old school strain, one is your desert island strain. You can only smoke it for the rest of your life, and then the third one's something new you fucking with.
Old, the original
Paul,
Grey
you go
Babe.
first. Original Grey Babe.
Old.
Has that come up before?
You've been in SAC all the time?
Yeah, for a long time.
You remember the grapes from 2000 to like '06 that just flooded Sacramento? Like that's
The
all
early
we-
grapes. That's what I was telling you.
Yep.
Man,
He's been
those-
talking
on
about
the
these
show.
grapes forever,
Those.
bro. I'm so
Those
pissed
right
I missed
there.
it, dude.
So that
Okay.
those in the particular batches I was getting from my boys back then.
Can I
like
just
those particular batches?
Point something out. I like when my guests come alive and like I see the sparkle in their eyes.
bro.
No, this is his thing, bro. You don't know.
I love
I
asking
am
that question.
hunting
Because you just
everything
came
we talked
alive, man.
I am
Paulie woke
hunting
up.
this and have been hunting this for the longest period of time, dude. If anybody sees this and has it,
He gets
dude,
upset when people say it's
please.
gone. You know
Yeah,
what I
dude.
mean?
I'm like, it's not gone. It's not gone. I'm like, no, it's not.
bro,
It's got to be
I'm
around
sour,
somewhere. I'm in
bro.
denial.
I know. Get it.
Shout out, no lie.
Desert Island, Skittles.
That's
Oh,
it's
easy.
leading the pack.
Yeah,
That's leading the pack.
Desert
That
Island,
answer.
Skittles for sure.
Like, what the fuck?
Shout out Skittles and Terpogs.
Hell yeah.
You know what?
I think, and then what? New? You said?
Yeah, something new you fucking with. It just works for you.
Can I even say this? Can I say this?
Yeah.
Chef.
Yeah, that's my
The chef.
Chef.
Chef. Shout out to
Watch
Yeah,
Chef.
so
man.
That's a
yeah,
problem.
people
Hell
be
yeah.
on the lookout for that because this one's about to shake up the industry.
Okay.
That's what we
okay.
just smoked wet right now. That was out.
Yeah.
That-
Like I
That
think
was
it was kind
amazing.
of I was smoking the Lindy almost.
was.
That was what I said. What the fuck is this?
You know, you
Yeah.
gotta let
Chef.
them both cure.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, Lindy, when it's not cured, is a different girl, dude.
Yeah.
Very much she's cured. Chef, like if it goes at the same curve of getting better that Lindy does, then nothing's gonna beat Chef because that was literally off
Yeah,
the vine
chef.
yesterday.
Yeah, chef is crazy.
Fucks with it. Hell yeah. Chef.
But-
Chef it is, man.
Yeah, so we got the same answer for everything but the fucking old school strain. I don't know, dude. I was just, it's tough because like old school for me, I wasn't smoking with my palate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, right. But I
like-
mean, but what were you really fucking?
So you
I was
weren't
just
like,
fucking with OG for like
Yeah,
20
and that's-
years. Dude. Yeah,
that's a very popular answer for that. For my boys out here,
yeah.
they mostly say OG.
I figured it would be. That's why I want to think of a better
Yeah.
answer.
No. It's true to
That's
you,
really
bro.
what it
That's
would
your
be,
truth.
But
Yeah.
there could be another truth for some other shit smoking that's old, like grape. I just don't know.
Well, I feel like this is gonna be your answer. I'm about to ask you is if you could bring back one strain, what would it be?
Oh,
Great.
the,
Yeah, here we
those
go.
particular grapes. I'm looking still.
Damn, man.
I'm not letting.
Now
the
is this
dream
Granddaddy
die.
Perp or this
No,
Grape
this
8?
is not. This is the original grape
Grapes.
aid. You know, there was a lot of other things around at that time.
And it was
There
green,
like the
right?
purple Urkel. There was the Granddaddy. There was what else? There was. I remember we were getting some stuff called Truckee grapes from Truckee. There was all kinds of stuff, but the original grape ape that I was getting from my partners here in Sacramento,
Did you smoke it in a swish?
unfortunately, yeah, I
I knew
not
it.
even in a front.
Let's
Yeah,
not
that, I
even
mean,
put it
back,
on the record,
back
dude.
then,
You
back
had
then,
to, bro.
back then, to be honest,
You
I
had
was
to.
probably fucking rolling it in a goddamn grape swisher at that.
Yeah,
Fucking even more
exactly.
grape.
Yeah.
But no,
I'm not mad
I
at
did
you at
take
all,
bong
bro.
hits of it, and I had a bubbler back then too that I had in the center console of my car that I drove around with, so I could.
That's
pack
gangster,
little
bro.
balls of
You had a
fucking-
bubbler in your car. That
Yeah, a little bubbler in the whip.
That's dangerous, wrong
little
fault.
Honda Civic.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. That sounds about Honda Civic.
Right.
Damn,
Yeah, that's dope.
the trap wagon.
What would you
I
bring
had a
back?
Civic too, dude. What would I bring back? Dude, that's the thing. Here's the thing. The shit that I would want to see what Zito's is smoking like it was. And it's not that old or nothing, but it's just gone now, so I'm just.
I feel like I had that. What was
hella
that?
fire.
Skittles times something?
UK cheese.
Oh no, I didn't have that.
Oh, it was some heat.
No way.
dude.
I
I hate
definitely didn't have
cheese,
that. I
dude.
love cheese, bro. I had it once.
I know a lot of people that love cheese.
Amazing.
I hate how the cheese that I've had has been grown, I should say, because I don't know what I like and don't like anymore. Because fucking ever since he grew some Jack, that was
Yeah.
just smoking, dude. I was like, get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here. Now I'm like, all right, dude, maybe I
That
like
was
everything, dude.
late 2018, right? When we were getting those.
When?
Zito's?
Or yeah,
Yeah, I think it was 19.
19 was it? Okay, so
Yeah, it's not even that long
2019.
ago, but-
Yeah, these batches I was getting, I'm telling you.
Crazy.
Yeah, the honey bear.
Probably bring back
flavors had 'em.
Candyland, though. Actually, now I think about it. Probably,
Okay.
I mean, it's out there still. It's not that it's not back, you know? It's just.
I haven't seen it.
I
I
want
haven't
to
seen it in a
I
while.
haven't seen it in ages. Man.
Go to Nevada.
Yeah.
Candyland still rocking.
Really?
Candyland's huge.
Candyland,
And like
headband,
like
headband,
Tahoe, Reno, and shit like that. You know,
Yeah.
it's funny that you said headband because I remember I was in Reno and my brother lives out there and I had showed him Sherbanger. This was a while back, and I showed him Sherbanger for the first time. I was like, bro, you got to check this out, right? And I'm showing it to him, and he's like, dude, that's hella funny. My boy grows something hella similar. I'm like, there's no way. You know,
Right.
I mean, this is fucking impossible.
Right.
I'm like, that's absolutely impossible. There's no way.
There's a wild story behind that shit.
And he does Sunset Sherbet times headband. And
Oh,
he calls it Sherbhead.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
How did it compare?
Dude, it was fire. It was definitely super fire.
How's it smoking?
It wasn't smoking. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? The terps were there. The terps were there. I mean, it has potential to be a dope plant if it was grown correctly.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was no Emmett Smith. Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out NorCal.
Shout out NorCal, man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So talk about plugs and shit. So I feel like we were just kind of shouting out some plugs. Let's shout out your favorite plug from back in the day. And if you have any cool stories about them, hit me. Who took care of you back in the day, man?
Shit, like I said earlier, I was from a small town, man. So I'd have to shout out the homie Jimmy.
Shout out Jimmy.
Yeah, facts. I mean, Jimbo, that was the dude, man. I mean, like if you had weed, in Dixon, that's probably where it came from.
Jimmy.
Man, I'm like in my head, like, man, do I say the name or do I not say the name?
Say the street name. Say the street name.
name.
What was their nickname?
Got a street name. Both of them are just straight names. But homie that talked me out of working at fucking Texas Roadhouse.
Okay, there we go.
You know who you are.
There we go.
You know
Shout
what I
out to him, man.
That's better than my first
Shout out
job,
Texas
dude.
Roadhouse, man. You get a good steak at a good price.
And then and then my fucking roommate in college that really actually like put me on. Like I was just always smoking weed, and then he's like, you know, people that smoke, and then that was the end of it, dude. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you could do this and sell it for this. I'm like,
Oh my God, I've been flipping shit
well,
my
I've
whole
been
life. Let
smoking
me
this
just
this
flip
whole
this
time,
weed
dude,
real
yeah.
quick. Fuck.
So, anyways, yeah, those
Hell
two
yeah.
guys, you know who you are.
That's what's up, man. What's the best advice someone ever gave you guys, man?
Oh, damn, dude.
Don't work
Or-
at Texas.
first on this
Don't work at Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah. It could be simple. It doesn't have to be like super deep. It could be like, don't piss in the wind, like whatever.
Shit.
Fuck.
The best advice.
Or
Honestly?
what's the best advice somebody gave you?
Oh, I thought that was the question.
Oh, I just said I'm stoned.
Dude. I think
Shout
my
out to
dad-
Chef.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chef,
Yeah,
man.
straight up. Chef and Lindy on the duo right there.
Jeez, fucking
Yeah.
1, 2.
That was crazy,
Bing
though.
bong.
See, that shit was combusting hella well. The terps are gonna get even crazier and crazier.
Yeah, man, I'm
You know what I mean?
convinced.
Yeah, that shit was fresh.
But I would say like what my dad told me as a kid is like you can trade your fucking, how did he say it, dude? He's like you can trade your time for money or your ideas for money, but you only got a certain amount of time. You know what I mean? So it's like just don't get into the trap of like I show up for this long and I make this much, because it's just like it's a very limited thing.
Yeah,
You know?
Yep, you'll cap your income.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the time.
That's
for
good.
money thing. And then probably just value, bro. Just like trying to like, not trying to make money, but try to like add value to some shit and just like become valuable.
If you add value to everyone you come across,
Yeah.
they're more likely to add value to you. You know what I mean? Touch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a saying called "touch the heart before you touch the hand." Let me add value to you before I put my hand out and ask for something. Right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people do the math on a
Yeah.
business before they think about how it's gonna fucking, you know what I mean?
Help people
Yeah.
versus help you.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
I've been trying to force along hella businesses, and for like my whole fucking teenage and adult life, and like they all just didn't work because it started with a business plan. It didn't start with some organic. You know?
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
first time where some shit organic is like, okay, we can do all this and that.
But your whole life, your whole journey was a dress rehearsal for what's about to happen. It taught you everything you need to know.
Learn how
And
to
both of
fuck.
you were in the right season and linked up at the right time. And,
Yeah,
you know, now that's why you guys are fucking shit up, man.
Timing.
door
for
to door
sure.
Yeah.
shit, like, you know, like cannabis sales, hitting dispensaries and shit, like getting to talk to the owner. Like, bro, me and Jasmine in my fucking Honda filled my whole trunk with hammocks, drove down to San Diego and back, and hit every beach town store and every camping store along the way, and like we would sell hammocks to get money to get a hotel, and that's how we put a fire under our ass. We'll sleep in our car if we have to, but like
That's dope. You've been rocking with Jasmine for a minute. I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. 8 years
Back
on
from
our
the
wedding,
from the
man.
hammock
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, dude. She's rocking with me in the trap
Talking
wagon,
about
dude. You know
trap
what I mean?
wagon, yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out
the
to her,
little
man.
99 Civic, dude. With the fucking
Hell
rolling
yeah.
windows. She was rolling my shit up on the
Oh,
other
say
side.
no more,
Proud,
bro.
dude.
Say no more. That's why you married her. Come on.
Yeah, no, Jasmine's
a beautiful
a beast.
thing,
Now
man.
Jasmine fucking, like, you know, once I got out of sales at Connected, now Jasmine's running sales for Alien Labs at Connected since
Hell yeah.
2018. Yeah, dude.
Crushing.
Crushing. I could never
Fuck
do
yeah.
that shit, bro. She's like on another level of like
That's
working on
dope.
4 things at once, dude.
Hell yeah.
Grows another arm.
That's
fucking
good,
answers
man.
a call.
Um,
She's a beast.
I'm gonna swing it left real quick. You guys fuck with psychedelics? Do you got any wild acid or mushroom stories for us? Because people that trip out, like they tend to have cool stories. So I like to
Yeah, that's
see what you got. I never know what I'm gonna get when I
for
ask this
sure.
question.
Oh,
I promise you,
man.
when you hear Caleb from Main Stage's story when I ask this question, I'm just warning you, nobody topped that one yet.
Shit.
Just throwing that out there. No pressure.
I don't think mine will top it for sure.
No, it doesn't have to. But
crazy
it
to
was
me.
wild. It's just you're not gonna expect it.
Yeah, dude. There's some things that I don't want to even.
Okay.
go
Okay. You don't want to take him to that galaxy.
But
I feel like I know.
That's
you.
cool.
But yeah, Adam knows. Me and Adam have talked about this, dude.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But and it's not even about galaxy shit, dude. It's just
Mine is.
about taking way too much.
Yeah.
And so, but no, I will tell you this. This is
Okay,
what I
talk
will
to
tell
me.
you.
Talk to me.
The first time I hallucinated, I was 12.
Me too, bro.
Not that
Acid
I
or
would,
mushrooms?
not that I am, and I am in no way, shape, or form endorsing or encouraging
No,
kids
no, me neither, man.
to do this. So I don't want it
No,
to
me
be
neither,
seen
man.
that way. But if I'm being,
just had older
but if
friends.
I'm being 100% honest and
Yeah. That's
what we
organic
want
with
here.
everyone here, there's nothing like hallucinating when you're a kid.
No,
and you
'cause
have
you don't worry about
absolute,
nothing.
you have zero responsibility.
Yeah, dude, it's
You
the
have
best time.
you have zero even concept of your mortality. Like you're gonna live forever as far as you think.
Yeah, you're 12,
and
bro.
and your imagination is still so vibrant because you're still a kid.
Yes.
That's true.
It was, I mean, yeah, and I mean, yeah, dude, yeah,
That was probably the best.
yeah,
one.
some of the craziest times and some of the, and then yeah, through that little phase from like 12 to like
So
14,
did you have to go home for
15.
dinner? Because I did. My mother's
Oh, I
sitting
had
right
to.
over there.
I
by the
had
way.
to call my mom to come pick me up from one trip, and I will never forget that. I will never
Did you have to
forget.
tell her, like, Mom, I'm
Oh, I
tripping
tried to
out?
play it off the whole car way home. I'm sure she knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
get to the house. I
Poor
go
guy's
in.
melting.
These were back in the days of Brother Lynch Hung.
Yeah,
Back in the day. Back in the day. And also the back in the day of the
Cannibal
velvet.
rap.
You remember the velvet?
Yeah.
You remember the velvet black light
Spooky shit.
posters?
Yeah, hell yeah.
With the
Everybody
black
had
lights,
them.
right?
90s shit,
so I
bro.
had black lights all in my room, right?
Oh, boy.
All these velvet, like the
velvet
skull
joints, yeah.
posters and stuff, like in different shroom ones and shit. I remember going to my room and turning on Season of the Sick
Oh, you're wild.
and laying down.
Terrible
And
choice.
chilling.
Are you
Oh,
crazy?
horrible choice, dude. one of the worst decisions I could have ever made in my life because the whole night had already been fucked to where I had to call my mom to come pick me up.
And for the people that ain't from Northern Cali and don't know, he's listening to Cannibal Rap.
This
Season of the Sick.
Yeah,
Brother
eating
Lynch
babies and
Hung
shit.
was a gangster rapper, which
Yeah.
also mixed in the death and mutilation and kind of cannibalism as part of the rap.
Yeah.
facts. Him and X-Rated were
Well done.
huge out
Explain
here
that,
back
yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
Shout out to X-Rated. Just came home.
Just
man.
came
Yes,
home,
sir.
yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
it.
Welcome home. Welcome home.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, so listening to that, and dude, I just started bugging.
Yeah, you did.
Like I started bugging, and I remember I was 13, and I remember walking into my parents' room, waking my mom up, and just being like, "Took way too much mushrooms." She was just like, "Fuck." But my parents, once again, shout out, are the
Yeah.
coolest people on planet
From
Earth.
SF,
and
down with
they didn't yell
down
at
with
me
the
or nothing.
cause.
They got up and they just stayed up with
It
me.
took care of you.
They got up
cool,
and just
man.
kicked it, like turned on the TV, like we vibed and chilled.
man.
You know,
You gotta
that was
work
just
through
That's
just-
a great
yeah,
story, man.
that,
you,
you
have,
know.
you have my anxiety. through the
Yeah,
movement
no,
with
that
fucking
that was it.
album
You know,
art. I
yeah,
was like,
no. Oh, dude, my posters came alive at me,
thought you
bro.
was
I
about
was
to
like,
jump out the window on us, bro. Fuck.
yeah, no, it was bad, but
Dude, I was
glad
scared to
Cannibal-
smoke weed around my dad, dude.
lesson learned.
He fucking caught me one time, pulled me by the ear up the street. Fucking took the door off my fucking room.
Yeah.
Like my dad was like, yo, like at 21, he like saw a bag of weed in my bag when I was over, and he's like, so you're just a fucking loser now? I'm like, yeah. Last time I checked, I'm fucking grinding, dog. I don't know.
Yeah. I
have
checked the
some
scoreboard,
weed on?
man.
Yeah. And I mean, now he's hella cool and shit, but we had to go through it. Now I can smoke next to him on the campfire. He actually hit a doink on my wedding day. He hadn't smoked
That's
since I
a
was
beautiful
born.
thing. That's good pizza, bro.
Yeah, like
I was honored enough to hold that doink.
Oh, that's so good, man.
of some P90 by Blue.
Oh yeah,
And it was smoking.
I'm sweating.
And so basically, like, you know, because my mom, it was just me and my dad growing up. My mom's fucking drug addict shit. She
For
bounced.
sure.
And so fucking, he like, when I was born, was like, all right, no weed, no alcohol, no cigarettes, nothing. I'm done.
Sure.
And hadn't smoked his whole life up until that day at my wedding where I was smoking a fat doink. Me and Jazz hitting the little fucking, and I'm like, all right, for my fucking wedding. He's like, no, because then you'll never be able to say fucking your dad held strong. I'm like, that's a weak ass story, man. I'm trying to have my dad smoke with me on my wedding day.
Yeah.
And he hits it, takes a fat hit, makes it run, which I'm forgiving.
Right.
If you're watching this, Dad, you're good.
My instinct was
We
aside.
were outside.
But I'm saying this to say he took a huge hit, right? And sometimes I wonder, am my lungs just tough? Breathes out a fucking huge cloud. He goes, what is that? Same way I did when I smoked. And I'm like, that is blueprint. Hey, the fucking videographer's right there. I'm like, clip that shit, dude.
Clip that for sure.
That's
What
a
is
fucking
that?
Virgin lungs.
Yeah, that's dope.
Did he enjoy it?
Hell yeah.
Good.
He didn't smoke anymore though. He's like, just today, I'm telling you, I'm not
Hell
smoking.
yeah.
Good.
But he enjoyed that and admitted it. Couldn't deny it.
I like that, man. I like that. So, well, shit, boys, this has been fucking fun, man. This was a great episode. I feel like a ton of game, and we covered a lot of shit. And before we get up out of here, I always like to ask my guests, who do you know that I should know? Who do you know that I should know that I get up on the show?
I definitely think if you want to get somebody on an intellectual level that like really, really understands this plant and is a big part of a lot of things, I would definitely suggest Bobby Bags.
Ooh,
Bobby
good
Bags?
call.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bobby Bags.
definitely.
Yeah, second that.
Yeah, Bobby Bags.
If you want like a super nerd that's like like there's a lot of great like hash makers out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you really want like the super nerd, like
I nerd out
he's
all
like
day
the-
on this shit.
you know what I
please.
mean?
Hit
He's
me.
really with the shit is Matt, keeping it bubbling.
Keep Matt from Keeping It Bubbling. All right, Matt.
Dude, get him on. That dude's a wealth of knowledge. Worked in like assisting like Michelin star chefs for like 10 years and shit. Like super crazy with his process. Like you can see it in his work too. I don't know if you want to try that dab, dude.
I do. Yeah, let's do that.
But
Let's
that's
do that before we
different.
get up out of here. Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean,
Thank you.
Get him on, dude. I don't know if he'll come on. He stays behind the curtain.
Oh yeah, anybody still rocking
Exactly.
behind the curtains, I respect that. I throw it out there if they want to rock whenever they're ready. The invite's
we gotta
always
talk
there.
him into it, dude.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, shit, man. How can we help you with your mission? What can I do with my audience, reach into my network and help your cause, man? What's next?
Man, dude.
What do you guys need help with?
Say just like,
Come buy this product.
well, if you want some good weed, yeah, you know.
Proper
fucking
Reserve,
hit up, properselections.com.
properselections.com.
Yeah. So you can put your email in right now at properselections.com or the link in our bio. And then anything important that happens with us, we email out to our email list. Add us as a contact, though, or else it'll go to your spam.
Okay,
Fucking figured out that the hard way.
beautiful.
Figured that out. But yeah, so I mean, anything like we're getting some new tips dropped soon. Got some in the works.
Got some tips in the works? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
New,
Good to
new
hear.
design. Soon
I like
together.
it. I like
And then
it.
we got, I mean, really just that, dude.
How do
got some
people
research
follow
and
y'all?
shit.
How do people follow y'all on Instagram and everywhere else?
At Proper
Is it
Doinks.
because I
At
pulled
Proper
up the
Doinks.
name a little earlier and
There's some
there's
scammers.
a few out there. I see
No
that that's
periods.
showing you guys are popping.
Yeah,
But
there's some big ones, and they got telegrams and shit.
yeah.
And they were arguing with me like, "This is my name. What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Damn, dude, you're
Word.
Oh, you're talking about the fake accounts?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that shit was
Like,
crazy.
why is your logo half of my logo?"
It's like a zoomed in picture of our logo. We were like, what the fuck is this?
He's like, "I made proper." Anyways, just proper doinks, no
mustard.
periods, no
Zip
fucking
fire, bro.
Proper Doinks on Instagram.
Yeah. And then in our bio we have like unicorn badge, proper reserve, which is the grow, proper selections, which is the delivery. We got to maybe condense it down a little bit, but I think we're gonna rock with it.
Nah.
It's a lot of names to remember.
It is, but it's kind of necessary, bro. They're all
Kind of
different.
is necessary. They're very different.
It's all proper covered. It's all us.
It's
regardless.
proper.
What proper
It's
stands
all of
for is
us.
just
Yeah,
great.
we just have different projects. You know, Proper Doinks is us. That's who we are. We have our delivery, which is proper selections, and that's not only our weed. You know, that's also weed that we have selected from
Curated.
other people that we're going to be working with.
that, yeah.
Right.
Right.
So those are our selections, and the reserve is our reserve of all the strains that we have that we're trying to bring back to the market. So it makes sense to separate all three because they're all different projects.
We have to work on it.
Yeah.
And you think of 5 years ahead, they're all their own staffs and they're all their own companies and like all running under the same umbrella, but all running corporations. So yeah, separate them now.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Keep it bubbling. I'll be in touch.
All right.
So, yo, thank you so much for coming out.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much for having us again. Appreciate you, brother.
Big love, man. Yeah, everything they doing. Good pizza co-signs. Let's fucking go. Proper Doinks, proper reserve. Good pizza. Peace, love, good pizza. We up out of here. We'll see y'all next time.
Proper pizza collab.
Proper
Follow.
pizza collab on the way.
Subscribe.
So,
Small job.
Yes, sir.
Check. Now that